take a deep breath and let his hair down. So you have to enjoy these moments and make the most of them. And I've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the game tonight. And when you can meet the players that you compete and coach against every night, that's the unique thing, getting to know these guys as men, not just basketball players.
Michael, you just mentioned LeBron James and the time you spent with him, and everyone we talk about him becoming the all-time leading scorer, and it's his 20th year and his 19th All-Star game. Can you process the guy you've known all those years ago and what he's become now?
It's incredible, because when I walked into the locker room, I saw him because he wasn't around yesterday. Big smile, big hug, and we had 5 great years together in Cleveland. And what's just remarkable is the longevity, the consistency, and the fact that he always found ways to improve and to get better and to grow. And that's the definition of greatness, a guy that is just never satisfied. It's amazing. He's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. I will always consider him a great passer, and who just played long enough and a high enough level to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I believe today he's going to break another Kareem record, LeBron playing in his 19th All-Star game. So to be teamed up with him once again really is a privilege and an honor just to be around him and his greatness.
That is Michael Malone. A short time ago with Mark Testisher and PJ Carlissimo. At the time, Michael Malone did not know the team that he was coaching. He did not know any of his players. He does now. Quick run through some of the lineups. LeBron James goes with Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic. Giannis Antetokounmpo, his starters, Jason Tatum, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Lauri Markkanen. I'll give you the reserves coming up next. Also coming up next, we're going to meet one of the reserves, Julius Randle, in his second All-Star game appearance as a member of the New York Knicks. What does it mean to him? We hear from him and then start closing in on tip-off here in the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
The NBA created the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion Award. Abdul-Jabbar has long been committed to using his influence to engage on social issues to promote equality and fight discrimination. And in 2016, Kareem was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor.
Black History Always. Celebrating Black History Month on ESPN Radio.
Monday on Fitz and Harry, the latest on Derek Carr as he looks to reach new heights with his new team.
Plus, why the Chicago Bears would be the absolute wrong spot for Bryce Young.
Fitz and Harry, Monday, noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, XFL owners Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia join us to recap the XFL's opening weekend. Keyshawn, J. Will, and X, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Chris Canty and Chris Carlin are Canty and Carlin.
So first off, the minimum you're supposed to be spending for a quality barber is $100. $100? I mean, the dye that the barber is putting in Jalen Rose's head, that must be real expensive stuff, cuz. There ain't no way in hell a haircut's supposed to cost you $100. Ain't no way. Now, I ain't trying to disparage anybody that's trying to get their money. I'm all about people trying to get paid. But $100 for a haircut, especially when you go in every single week, ain't no way, partner.
I don't have.
First of all, Carlin, you can't chime in on this conversation.
But I can. I was at the barber, and I went to a new barber, and they screwed up my beard, so I had a chin strap for a few weeks.
But it's not like they're cutting anything else on your head. You have no hair.
They have to use a shaver. They actually have to use a shaver that is called the Balder.
Oh, that takes so much skill.
Yeah, it does a whole lot for your self-esteem as well.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Mike Greenberg.
James Bradbury just committed a penalty that cost his team the Super Bowl. And he was so great about it, owned up to it, and Juju Smith-Schuster has shriveled. Bush League will always be Bush League. And you win and you lose with some element of class, and that must never change. And that is the unclassiest thing you could ever possibly do.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. Forgotten First with Keyshawn Johnson.
Kenny Washington was arguably the best college football player in the country when he led UCLA to an unbeaten season in 1939. His 1,914 rushing yards were a school record for 34 years. He was the school's first consensus All-American. If Washington had been eligible for the 1940 draft, he probably would have been the first overall pick, but he wasn't selected at all. On March 21st, 1946, after an influential African-American sports writer, Haley Harding led a movement to force the Rams to integrate after they moved from Cleveland to Los Angeles. Washington was signed and became the NFL's first black player in 12 years, permanently breaking football's color barrier. The signing happened a year before Jackie Robinson signed with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Washington showed flashes of form that once made him one of college football's greatest players. Washington was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 1956.
Black History Always. Celebrating Black History Month on ESPN Radio. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Oyster with you inside our studios, closing in on tip-off. We've almost made it, everyone. A little more than 20 minutes to go. We're going to hear from De'Aaron Fox and Drew Holiday coming up from the layup lines as they start prepping and warming up for this game. We now have the teams for this one. I give you the starters. Tatum, Ja, Mitchell, and Larry Markkinen with Giannis. Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic with LeBron James. Here are the reserves. LeBron went with Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers, Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox, and then Jaren Jackson. Giannis Antetokounmpo went with Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, Bam Adebayo, and Domantas Sabonis. I mentioned Julius Randle. He's now on Team LeBron. Yesterday, he spoke with Mark Kestecher and PJ Carlesimo as he's about to make his second NBA All-Star Game appearance.
Julius, great to see you back at the All-Star Game. I know a couple of years ago that was a big event for you, and I'm sure it was frustrating last year not to come back. How important to you to be back after missing out last year?
It's amazing, to be back, to experience it, for real this time. 2 years ago when I was there, we were there for a day in and out because of all the COVID protocols and stuff. But to be able to really get the experience with my family this time has been amazing.
Got it, Matherin in the lane, post away. Grimes got a hand on it to Giddey, down floor, Jalen Williams. Behind the back, Grimes saves it on the left side. Wheels, and his three-pointer is good.
How much fun is it to see Friday night your Knick teammate Quentin play as well as he played?
Yeah, he played amazing. If they would have won the game, he would have got the MVP for sure. So I was hoping they won, but I think he did a great job, making a statement, competitive, and he played great.
Just for the record, PJ did vote for him for MVP. So.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I read an article in the offseason, like for the first time when last season ended, you put down the basketball. Like you took some time off, and obviously you've come back with a vengeance. What was that period like? What were you trying to accomplish?
Sometimes you just got to get away. For me, it was just a mental reset. Spend more time with my family, connect with my family, my sons, my wife, travel, see the world a little bit. Just refresh my mind. Sometimes I get so locked into the game, I don't see anything else. And it was good for me just to get a little bit of a reset, reevaluate things, and, learn more about myself, as an individual, and then eventually get back on that court and do what I love to do.
Fadeaway two, no good off the heel, and that's it. And the Knicks hold on and win the ball game, 105-103 at the Garden.
Your team is wedged right in there, but I mean the way the East is this year, you win a couple, you go up 2 spots, you lose a couple, you go down. What do you guys have to improve upon, or what are the keys for you guys the final 25 games?
Yeah, I think it's just the consistency on the defensive end. When we do that every night, we give ourselves a shot. Offense has been great all year, but if we're consistent, buckling down, getting stops, not letting teams establish rhythm early in the game, we'll have a great shot of being in the playoffs.
Brunson up top, fires and hits. It's a 3 for Brunson. It's got 35. Knicks 112 and Utah 109.
Whoa, the clutch gene is coming out. Here we go, Jalen Brunson time.
Jalen Brunson coming over to your team. Obviously, it's changed things. You guys are in contention. What has his acquisition meant to the team and to you?
JB's been great, man. Forget the basketball player. Just JB as a person and as a teammate. He's a real individual, man. Like, he really cares, puts guys first. So, he's the perfect teammate as well, especially for me. Somebody that cares like that is the perfect teammate. So, I love playing with JB, obviously, on the basketball court. He's an even better person.
Brunson, right elbow. Stop and go against Okoro. For Randall, straight on three-pointer. Nails it! Julius Randle, his 8th three-pointer, has 36 points.
How different is it to come to All-Star, more than once? You're almost getting used to it. But I mean, when you're growing up, you had to think about this. You're watching All-Star games or watching competitions in the past, and now having it actually happen, and not just once. You're almost getting used to it.
Yeah, I don't never want to get used to it. I think it's a privilege to be here. It's an honor to be here. It's a lot going on, obviously, but, it's a moment of self-reflection and everything and all the people that are around you that it took to, get here. So it's not something I ever want to get used to. I'm appreciative of this every time, whether it's 1, 2, 20 times like LeBron. I don't care what it is. It's an honor.
Julius Randle yesterday with Mark Testishire, PJ Carlissimo. Julius now knows he's a member of Team LeBron. Giannis and LeBron have made their selections. Post Malone entertaining the crowd at Vivint Arena. Kevin Winter with you inside our studios. Hey, don't forget Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Start your morning 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time with them each and every day on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. They're followed by Greeny. They'll have a complete recap of this 72nd NBA All-Star game. We've already heard from Michael Malone. He's going to coach Team LeBron. Joe Mazzulla, who no longer is the interim head coach of the Boston Celtics. This week, the Celtics removed the interim tag and gave him the job full-time. Tonight, he's going to coach Team Giannis. Again, when this interview was done, Joe Mazzulla did not know who he had on his team other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Joe Mazzulla with Mark Testishire and PJ Carlissimo.
Kevin, thank you very much. Joe, first year as a head coach. Now you're coaching in the All-Star game. How do you possibly process what these last 5 months have been like for you?
Yeah, I think you just focus on, what's been a foundation for my family and I is our faith. And, we're always where we're supposed to be. And then you focus on the next piece is the people that we have around us, between the players and the staff and the organization. And then just trying to be as grateful as you can and trying to just stay in the moment.
Joe, what would it mean for your father to be able to see you coaching in an NBA All-Star game?
Yeah, he'd be proud. We're all the way in Utah, and I'm sure he would drive from Providence, Rhode Island to Salt Lake City, get a landscape of the entire, country, and then, just kind of be here. And the funny thing is when we won the game to go to the Final Four, I got a tap on my shoulder, and it was him. And I was like, how'd you get on the court? So he'd find a way to be on that quarter stage tonight somehow. But just grateful. I'm glad that, where he's at now and everything he's given, my family and I to be here.
Joe, when I think of you, I think of Bob Huggins. Obviously, now I think of Brad Stevens. Who are the guys like you've been leaning on as you make this transition and make it look seamless?
Yeah, I think everybody. I'm very fortunate because I've always played for a good coach and a good person, and every coach I played for was in it for the right reasons. And so I just was able to learn from whether it was my CYO coach, middle school, high school, AAU, college, and then the guys I worked for in the NBA. Every single guy was a coach. And so I was just able to just learn and have a master class in coaching because of all of them. So each and every guy that I've come across that I've either worked for or played for has helped me get to this point.
A little special to share the moment with Jason and Jalen and certainly not losing focus on what work you have left. But does that change it a little bit, the Celtic presence here at the All-Star game?
No question. The staff, too. Like I said, our staff had a choice to make at the beginning of the year, and we all decided we're going to do it together. We're going to focus on one thing. So just sitting back in the locker room with those guys, watching their kids and their families on the plane and just being with them is awesome. And then for Jalen and Jason, as much as it's about the team, you want to see guys achieve their goals and their dreams because, as much as it's about the Celtic legacy, these guys play for their own individual legacy and their family's legacy. And so to just be a part of that is awesome.
You get to coach Team Giannis. So should we assume Giannis is playing 48 tonight and Jalen gets maybe a minute or two?
I already told him. I said, we came here, you play. I always play my guys 40 to 42 minutes. So I was just messing with him. But he's awesome. It's been really good to get to know all these guys as people.
Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of Team Giannis. He now knows his team. Kevin Winter with you inside our studios. If you are interested, according to Caesar Sportsbook, the line was Team LeBron minus 2.5 over Team Giannis before the teams were even announced. It is still minus 2.5. The total, however, has gone up. It is 324. Yes, 324 is your total in this game. And don't forget, this has an Elam ending, everyone. What that means is when we get to the third quarter, we're at the end of the third quarter, the team with the highest score, we're going to add 24 points to their score, 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant, and that is going to be our target score. So we will have a walk-off game-winning shot no matter what. Teams again, Giannis Antetokounmpo, his starting lineup is Jason Tatum, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Lauri Markkanen. LeBron James has Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic. Giannis Antetokounmpo off the bench. Damian Lillard. Hey, speaking of Damian Lillard, last night, he had himself a night.
Third one bounces out, no good. Fourth one is good. Halliburton's fifth one is good. He had a great first round, but not enough. Damian Lillard, the seven-time All-Star, wins his first starry three-point contest. 17 seconds. Fourth one's good. Fifth money ball. Missed that. 21 points. He's got to get at least 4. Misses on the first. Second one is in.
Got a chance.
Third, yes. Fourth one with 4 seconds. He's got 24 to go ahead. Lillard bangs the money ball, and he's got the lead. He needed 26, and he got it. Dame Lillard has the lead.
Lillard picks up the win thanks to that performance. Damian Lillard is on Team Giannis coming off the bench, along with Drew Holiday, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, Bam Adebayo, and Domantas Sabonis. For Team LeBron, Anthony Edwards was his first overall pick. They did reserves first. Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Tyrese Halliburton, Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox, and Jaren Jackson. So the 2 members of the Memphis Grizzlies, they will go head-to-head, Ja and Jaren Jackson. The 2 members of the Celtics, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they will go head-to-head playing on opposite teams. Want to take you back to last night. Put a little recap on it. We told you Damian Lillard wins the starry three-point contest.
And McClung clearing both. Goes up, grabs and dunks. Wow, what a dunk by Mac McClung.
Look at all the players off their seats. There's 25 NBA players exploded out of their courtside seats. They're on the floor. They've all got their cameras taking pictures.
Mac McClung, if you did not know who he was or what he was about, he was a member of the G League, and he's been trying to latch on him and lock in. Well, he did so with the Philadelphia 76ers recently, signing a 10-day contract. But the dude is 6'2", and he has ups like you would not believe. Mac McClung did some special things last night.
McClung, 6'2", from the right wing, a dribble, a 360, goes up and slams it hard. I mean, he kept elevating on his way up.
Every player is taking pictures again of Mac McClung and his dunks.
Mac McClung had 3 50s on the night.
Here he goes, makes a run at it, lifts off, reverse jam, throws it down with a double clutch. Mac McClung, a strong offering here in his first dunk of the final round.
And then
he's got the Gate City jersey on over his 76ers jersey, a team he signed with less than a week ago. And he might just win the slam dunk. Here he is. Oh, a 360 and a bit more, and he slams it home, and he says it's over. It's over, surrounded by NBA veterans.
All the players go, let's go. Try shaking hands. He knows he got second. That is unbelievable.
It was a spectacular night last night for the AT&T Slam Dunk, the Starry three-point contest in the Kia Skills Challenge State Farm All-Star Saturday night. Now, it is time for the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. We are closing in on tip-off. Coming up next, we'll go back to Vivint Arena, get you set for tip-off between Team LeBron and Team Giannis. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio.
Greeny. I believe if he announced today his retirement, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. After 5 years, he's played 6 total. He's only actually been on the field for 5 of them. He would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Okay, Julie, have you made your decision?
Oh, wow, I have. This was a tough choice. I had such a great time with Brad, but I am gonna have to pick Geico.
Interesting.
Geico is just, sorry, I'm getting emotional. Been by my side, for so long with great customer service.
I thought we had something, Julie.
I'm sorry, Brad. Geico is just always there for me whenever I need them.
It's an insurance company.
No, it's an insurance partner, Brad.
For the choice you can always rely on, go to geico.com.
You're listening to the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter with you inside our studios. We are closing in on tip-off. I know. Finally! Closing in on tip-off for the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. Mark Testisher, PJ Carlissimo, Roz Goldenwood, Monica McDutt. Roz, let's go back to you at Vivint Arena.
Darren, hey, welcome to All-Star Weekend here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I remember you when you were a rookie. When you think about your career, what does it mean to you that in year 6, you break through and get your first All-Star appearance?
I would just call it progression. I think I've been through a lot, but I just think with the year that we're having, and for us to have 2 All-Stars has been great for us. So I think it's just a testament to the organization, and it really is a process.
Oh, yeah, you got 2 All-Stars. It's you and Domantas Sabonis representing for the Kings. Can you describe the momentum you two have after a very strong first part of the season and a whole lot of lighting of the beam?
Yeah. I think that we're here to have fun, but I think we're both ready to hit the ground running and trying to finish off this season and put ourselves in the best position in the playoffs. So we feel like we have a lot more to go, and our team could be a lot better than we are right now.
Quick thoughts. The draft happened right before the game. What do you think about Team LeBron, your strengths, and your lineup?
Brown was like, man, he wants to get some young guys to mix in with the old guys, got some athleticism, some shot making. So we're looking to come out here, compete, and have fun.
All right, thank you so much. Have fun today.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'm about to toss this over to you, Monica.
Thanks, Roz. All right, I'm standing here with Drew Holiday. All right, Drew, how do you feel about your selection in the draft? That's what I need to know.
Great execution. I think Giannis did very well. Threw him off. He was talking the whole time about taking me first, but we had already talked about it, man. You got to go get you a scorer, and you got Dame Lillard. So great execution of guards and bigs.
This is obviously a premier event in the league in terms of celebrating all that you guys have accomplished. How do you enjoy the weekend, but also kind of work on balance and rest as you get prepared for the last stretch?
I think kind of spending with my family, bringing my family to the events, my kids. Last time I was an All-Star, I didn't have any, so to share it with them, share it with my wife, it's been really fun.
All right, so tonight, you guys are competitive, but you also have a lot of regular season left to play. What do you think we can expect in terms of this ball game?
A lot of scoring. A lot of scoring.
So you're not going to lock anybody up tonight?
If need be, yeah. But let's hope need don't be. Let's hope we already up 30.
Outstanding. Thanks, Drew. Enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
Back over to you, Kesty.
Monica, thanks a lot. And before we get going here in Salt Lake City, we're going to send it back to the studio. Here's Kevin Winter.
I like that, guys. Need not be. If need be, but let's hope need not be. Hey, Drew Holiday mentioned scoring. Yeah. There's been a bunch of that around the league before this All-Star break commenced. ESPN Radio's Christine Lisi has more.
The pre-All-Star portion of the NBA season saw tons of scoring. I mean lots, especially from an individual standpoint.
Giannis, he's going for 50, right wing 3. Yes, sir.
Tatum with a right wing 3. Yes. Joel with the dribble. 4 to shoot. Step back 3. It's up. It's good.
There were 138 40-point games in the first half of the season. That's already the second most all-time in an entire season.
Donovan Mitchell with 41. This is his 6th game of 40 or more points. That's why he's going to Salt Lake.
There were 142 40-point games in the 1961-62 season. 26 players have multiple 40-point games, the most in a season in NBA history. 46 players have at least one 40-point game.
Luka steps back, three-pointer for the tie is good.
Another D3. Yes. The right-hand sledgehammer. Oh, what a move by Gildas Alexander. Crown him with 40 tonight, baby.
Entering the All-Star break, 6 different players are averaging 30 points, on pace to tie the 1961-62 for the most in a season in NBA history. Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jason Tatum. Oh, and LeBron James is just under that mark, averaging 29.98 points per game this season. But of course, he has the points that matter the most.
James free throw line. James fade. Jumper good. NBA history in Los Angeles.
Oh, hell. The new king in town.
Christine Lisi, thank you very much. Our thanks to WTMJ 98.5 The Sports Hub, 97.5 The Fanatic, WTIM Rip City Radio 620, WWLS The Sports Animal 98.3, 710 ESPN in Los Angeles. So yeah, scoring has been abundant in the first half of the season. It's actually not the first half. It's the pre-All-Star break, because when we start the season again on Thursday, it's a sprint over 6 weeks. Your final check of the numbers according to Caesar Sportsbook. Scoring, they're thinking a lot. Your total in this game is 324, and Team LeBron is still a 2.5-point favorite. Exactly where they were before anyone knew who was playing for anybody. The NBA on ESPN Radio is presented by Indeed. Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with the candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit. With the call, the 72nd NBA All-Star Game to Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City we go. With Roz Golden-Woody and Monica McNutt on the sidelines alongside PJ Carlissimo. Here's Mark Testershire.
All right, Kevin, great job. Marathon coverage of our pregame, getting set for the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. The pomp, the circumstance, the pageantry. Got Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade sitting right next to us. Just had a nice conversation and a picture for LeBron James, who, in addition to becoming the all-time leading scorer, is about to enter into his 19th straight All-Star selection. That is a record. He'll extend his record with a 19th straight start. He's going to tie Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a 19th All-Star selection, and Kareem sitting across the way from us.
Yeah, and LeBron actually is going to play. Kareem missed one earlier on, but those two certainly deserving at the top. How about that class, LeBron? Just part of it. LeBron, D-Wade, and Melo right there.
Wow. You had LeBron at number one. You had Chris Bosh. You had Melo. And D-Wade. Four out of the top five was a pretty amazing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I coached the rookies against that class back in 2005 in Denver. They schooled us in the second. We were up at the half. They schooled us in the second half.
All right, before we get to your game plan tonight, just thoughts we've had a chance to digest the rosters as the selections were made. The reserves first, 7 apiece. A little bit of a surprise. Damian Lillard going to Team Giannis, who had the first pick of the reserves. LeBron had the first pick of the starters, and he's got himself a pretty big lineup. In fact, he's got 3 30-plus point scorers in his starting lineup with Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic, and he's got his new Mavericks running mate, Kyrie Irving, as well.
Yeah, that's a strong group. And if you count Kyrie, because he was born in Australia, you've got to look at the countries: Slovenia, Serbia, the Democratic Republic, and Australia. To go with LeBron, it's his own country. LeBron, they're loaded big. Jokic and Embiid on the one team is really interesting. Until we see who's going to play, it's usually evident early to me, Kessie, like who's out there. Right away last year, you knew Steph Curry was going to get after it. Other guys, you see, they're not going to not play hard, but they're going to get their 5-7 minutes, and that might be enough. None of the young guys will be doing that. The young guys are going to be going after it. Giannis wanted to go more there. I'm anxious to see the guys that we know are dinged up, how much they're going to play. Giannis, Jaylen Brown, those guys, Embiid. Are they going to play big minutes?
Well, Giannis has a wrap around that right wrist that he injured hitting the stanchion against Chicago right before the break. Joel Embiid has been dealing with a foot injury, and it's not going away. And obviously, the rest is what he needs. So I'm sure folks in Philadelphia would like to see him not play as much here tonight. And Kyrie Irving, probably the least of the three in the injured front, though. He is listed with a back injury, and we'll see how much all of them will play tonight.
Liking the look of Jalen's mask. The warm-ups
That's right.
for the All-Stars are all black, just white All-Star written on the front. Because, of course, they didn't know what team they were going to be on. It's the actual game uniforms are colored, but Jel's got that black mask on, and he looks like he's ready for a TV show.
I was going to say, it looks like Zorro out there. He's got the black mask, the black beard, the all-black all-star. He's one of the last out there still shooting and just hit a three-pointer
Still
out there.
knocking him in. Yeah, the mask's not going to affect him.
All right, they're going to announce the starting lineups here in a moment. Just a reminder, last year, you mentioned last year, and Steph Curry, 50 points, if you forgot. 16 three-pointers last year in a 163-160 Team LeBron win over Team Durant. LeBron had the game-winning shot. Let's get PJ's game plan. It's brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Remember college? 5-Hour Energy worked for you then. It still works now. Rediscover 5-Hour Energy.
Testy, the game plan's the same for both of them. number one, stay healthy. Nobody get hurt. Let's get that last part of the season underway, and they get back to their respective teams. Not going to be a ton of defense, but the one type of defense that would really help either team, a little bit of transition defense, just so we don't have 3-on-0s or 4-on-1s, just so there's somebody back there. We may see a little bit of an Olay, but hopefully they'll have numbers so we don't see a lot of breakaway layups.
So let's reset those starting lineups for folks. For Team LeBron, it's LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. That's your front line. And then you got the Mavericks guard tandem of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. For Team Giannis, Jason Tatum, Lowry Markkanen of the Utah Jazz up front, Donovan Mitchell, the ex-Jazz, now with Cleveland, and Ja Morant in the backcourt, and a nod to the Utah Jazz. Both uniforms have the colors changing as they go, kind of like a sunrise and a sunset. Team Giannis in the red and orange to yellow, and Team LeBron in the light blue to dark blue to almost black as we get set to play here at Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City.
We've been waiting a long time. I'll tell you who else has been waiting a long time. These players, they've been here the whole weekend. They don't get to play till fairly late on Sunday night, so they're going to be happy to bounce the ball and play some basketball.
Tap is won by Team Giannis. Remember, we're keeping score every quarter, and the quarter scores, and money is raised for Raise the Future for Team Giannis, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Utah for Team LeBron. Here's Giannis from the left, cuts under this, that Olay defense. Joel Embiid says, go ahead, Giannis, and he drops it through for the first two.
Yeah, something tells me if this was Sixers and Bucks, he wouldn't let him go. Oh, Giannis with a foul. He may be coming out right away, Kesty.
Yep, that was a foul to get him out. He played 20 seconds, gets a hand from Joe Mazzulla, Team Giannis' head coach. And that might be all we get for Mr. Adetokounmpo.
And maybe Joel knew that, and he wasn't going to get involved in following Giannis on that play. Giannis looks like he's getting his warm-ups on. He's going to be coaching tonight. Coach the celebrity game. He's going to coach tonight.
Lowry Markkanen in the game. Actually, Jaren Jackson Jr. replaced him. That's Bam Adebayo in there. We got a couple of 13s on the floor. Here's LeBron James. Wide open, deep two to open the scoring for Team LeBron.
Only thing more fitting would have been had Blue controlled the tap, and LeBron had the first basket.
James, three-time All-Star MVP. We're tied at 2 here in the opening minute. Tatum actually defended by LeBron, who got out on the perimeter. Tatum missed the jumper.
Yeah, he pressured that shot.
Well, Giannis was a little salty here today with his picks, and LeBron also 5-0 as a team captain. It's like taking it serious early. Here's Jokic dropping it for Embiid. It's knocked away by Mitchell off of Embiid and out of bounds to Team Giannis.
When he got the Joker up on the elbow. Wow.
There's the former Jazz Donovan Mitchell to the new Jazz Lowry Markkanen on a 60-foot alley-oop.
Jokic high-low to Embiid. That would be a little difficult to defend.
Doncic from the perimeter, missing from the right, kept alive by Jokic. He'll lift it for the rim. One hand grab and flush on the tomahawk from LeBron.
LeBron is going to like playing with Jokic for sure. Nikola Jokic is a great passer.
Drop through on the dunk by Jason Tatum. I was wondering why LeBron waited so long to draft Nikola Jokic. It was one of the last picks. 6-14 LeBron, and Kyrie Irving missed a bunny but was able to tap it up and in, and a big smile as he recovers. 6-6 score early. Tatum thought about a three for Team Giannis, gives it to Morant, driving with a head of steam into the lane, liftoff, and right to the rim for a dunk.
Mild by Ja's standards, but the crowd is waiting for him to do something spectacular.
LeBron tried to bank a three, missed it. Rebounded by Team Giannis, 8-6. And, of course, Giannis started, got a bucket, and took himself out of the game with that wrist injury as Donovan Mitchell misses a three from deep. And Joel Embiid, deep, right?
Very deep.
You hear the chuckle. Here's Irving on his horse, blowing by Markkanen and lays it in. Kyrie Irving won a All-Star Game MVP back in 2014.
I'm waiting to see. It's usually easy to tell by the end of the first quarter who are the guys who decided, you know what, I'm going to go for the MVP tonight.
Yeah, they're playing really loose here early. Donovan Mitchell with an easy basket. Each organization that they're raising money for, starting with $150,000 in the pot. The winner of this quarter will get $100,000 toward their charity. Here's Doncic, blows by Morant. As Morant stopped, let him go, and Luka gets the bucket. Got to play a little bit of defense. I know it's early. 10-10. Here's a high lob to Markkanen at the rim for the alley-oop slam.
Well, Lowry's running the floor. We talked about it'd be nice if there was a little transition defense. Lowry's beating the entire blue team down the floor every time.
Oh, Embiid says my foot feels well. He just accelerated, spun down the lane, finger rolled it in. Looks like he's moving pretty well. He just got to Salt Lake City today.
How's that for two centers, Jokic and Embiid?
Yeah, pretty good.
Gifted, being able to shoot it, pass it,
do
anything with the ball.
And this guy, too, Markkanen, a 7-footer who could stroke it from deep. That three-pointer puts Team Giannis up 15-12. LeBron, no look into the lane to Embiid, spins on Markkanen, lays it up and in.
Pesty, correct me. The last time the All-Star game was here, was it not Karl Malone, John Stockton,
co-MVPs? Great memory.
Lowry's got a step.
Got a shot.
Yeah.
Got a shot. There's Jokic, sends it to Irving, makes the catch, and behind the back flips it up and in on the bucket.
If Jokic plays enough minutes, we're going to have to look at what the assist record is for the All-Star game.
There's Adebayo gliding to the rim off the pass and lays it through. 17-16, Team Giannis the lead. James off the window to himself for the alley-oop slam.
Give him an assist and a bucket.
6 points early for LeBron James. Three-time All-Star at the All-Star game. Three-time MVP at the All-Star game as Mitchell misses the three. Jokic long pass intercepted by Mitchell. Said, I'm not letting you get that one that easy. Gives it to Tatum. Drives. He puts it off the glass and in. He says, LeBron, you can do that. I got that game too.
Joker, the only one of the 10 players on the floor that hasn't scored right now.
They might get it here. They pass to Joker. No, he's got his back to the basket. Flips it to the rim to Embiid for the bucket. I think he wants 20 assists today.
I'm going to the scoreboard right now to start counting his assists.
He's got 2. Here's Tatum from the wing. Rainbow 3 misses. Markkanen tried to tap it up. Couldn't. 20-19, Team LeBron in possession of the ball. Kyrie Irving gets by one defender, gets by 2. Flips it behind the back. Jokic wasn't ready, not even close. Down the other end of the floor, Ja Morant. Look out, lift off, reverse jam, Ja Morant. They want him in a slam dunk eventually. That's what we could have saw if he wants to participate.
Well, he goes 4 times at least every game. You could just count his most recent game.
Pass inside, intercepted by Jason Tatum on Team Giannis, leading by a point. Flips it behind the back, tried to sky one toward the rim. That wasn't even close. This is about as loose a first 5.5 minutes, even for All-Star standards.
Agreed.
Timeout in Salt Lake City. Team Giannis 21, Team LeBron 20. You're listening to the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
If you look at any quarterback who ever lived through his first 5 seasons, he's chasing Montana and then Brady if he ever gets there. But right now, I don't see anyone through 5 seasons who's done what Mahomes has done. And in fact, even if you take it for its career, if you combine the level of play with the team's success, I don't really have anyone ahead of him other than Brady and Montana.
GJ and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. In the 90s, the SEC was scary good. Final Fours, national titles, and a whole lot of exhausted opponents. But glory doesn't come without sweat, toughness, and a chip on your shoulder that turns 40 minutes of hell into a lifetime of memories. ESPN Films presents Southern Hoops, a history of SEC basketball, Part 5, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network, presented by Pfizer BioNTech.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania arrives in a game-changing must-see.
Ready?
Ready. Critics are calling it truly exhilarating.
You're not the one with the hammer. It's Thor. We get confused a lot. Similar body types.
It's jaw-dropping and unexpected.
He's a monster who thinks he's a god.
I am Kang! Experience the next chapter of the Marvel Universe. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters everywhere now.
This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Just getting underway in Salt Lake City. Team Giannis 21, Team LeBron 20. 6:31 to go first quarter. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Roz Goldenwoody, Monica McNutt with you from Vivint Arena. And with the Disney Bundle, stream Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details. The early leading score, Markkanen has 7 for Team Giannis. LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving each have 6 for Team LeBron. It looks like Damian Lillard will be entering coming out of this timeout. And Roz, you got more on Dame.
Yeah, one aspect of the All-Star game is the player camaraderie. And I spoke with Damian Lillard right before the All-Star game. He said, look, I'm so competitive in season. I don't talk to anyone on the other team. But at All-Star, it's a chance to loosen up, talk to guys who you don't always see. And he said, everybody's so cool. He pointed out Jokic as someone who is surprisingly very funny. He's always doing and saying something that all the guys laugh at. Guys.
Yes, thanks a lot. And you know what? He's so much fun to talk to. Always gives a great interview. He genuinely wanted to win that three-point contest. He got it, and it sounds like he'd like to defend it if he could.
Yeah, I heard both. I thought that too right away. And somebody else said, no, he's going to retire. But now that he's won it, I said, what are you talking about? But I loved his answer about the big-time players playing in the skills competitions. He said, he's won 2 actual skill competitions on the first night on Saturday. And he said he wanted the 3. It was his 4th time that he tried to get it. And he says he thinks that the fans want to see the elite players in those competitions. That's one of the reasons he does it. I think he makes a great point. I wish he could convince a few more of the elite players to do some of these skill competitions.
Well, the cheers you're hearing behind us, Dan Roberts, the public address voice for the Utah Jazz. It goes back to when they moved here from New Orleans. Donovan Mitchell, of course, spent his first 5 years here in Salt Lake City, went over, gave him a big high five. He's been the voice behind the mic here in Salt Lake City for all those years. So Damian Lillard checks in. DeMar DeRozan checking in of the Chicago Bulls. DeRozan, remember he had that run earlier in his career with Toronto as All-Stars. In San Antonio, he kind of missed going, and then all of a sudden been coming back as a member of Chicago.
Back. Dan Roberts had a great intro for him when they introduced the All-Star players. Called him the master of the mid-range.
That's right.
Great way of referring to DeMar.
Paul George is the only bench player in for Team LeBron. He just passed it to Kyrie, who splashes a triple, and Team LeBron takes the lead by 2.
I was going to say, with Dame coming on the floor, the three-point shooting is going to improve.
Damian Lillard, who has starry three-point range, as we found out last night, goes to DeMar DeRozan. 2 little dribbles, saw no defense come in, said, okay, I'll take it to the rim, and scores the easy layup.
The waves parted.
Yes. Paul George behind the LeBron James screen, missing a 3. Rebounded by Team Giannis.
3.
Lillard from 35 feet buries it. Nobody's got more triples from that distance than Damian Lillard. Not even Mr. Curry, and they track those things. Here's Kyrie right to the rim to lay it up and in.
Dame's program, excuse me, Kesty, when he crosses half court, if nobody picks him up, he's going to stop and shoot it.
Did it again. Oh, he got all net, but unfortunately it did not catch the rim. And
under the net.
Got a big smile on his face. Well, he told all the media yesterday after the game, that's his game. He loves to shoot. Got a smooth stroke, knows it. And was his All-Star game in Atlanta. We got a change here as Julius Randle of the Knicks will come in for Nikola Jokic.
And the lefty quotient just went up significantly on the
and I see
De'Aaron team. We got De'Aaron Fox and Julius Randle on the floor.
Also coming into the game. Doncic thought about a long 3. Now drives into the lane. Nobody's there, and he'll just throw it through the cylinder for the dunk. 27-26, Team LeBron.
I don't think the crowd's going to be too thrilled if the defense doesn't get a little better.
Donovan Mitchell missing a 3. De'Aaron Fox, long pass, beautifully caught by Randle on a 60-foot dime, and Julius lays it in.
One southpaw to the other.
Well, I suspect they'll keep it close. You get in the last couple minutes, you're playing for $100,000 for charity. Here's Tatum lifting off and throwing it home with two hands. Jason Tatum drawing Team Giannis within a point.
I think you're going to see some job fireworks before this is over, Kesty.
I think you're right. The pass went through Julius. Now he just gets it. Gives a no-look to Fox outside to George. Left angle, wide open three. Pops out, no good. Down floor, Donovan Mitchell. Guarded by Randall. Gives it up to Tatum, who goes behind the back on the drive and lays it in.
As excellent shooters as these guys are, they're not used to shooting this open. They're all by themselves.
Pass to half court, stolen by Lillard. Leans into a three-pointer, but can't convert. Luka Doncic has the rebound, nearly lost his earpiece. James, a deep three. Looks right over the TNT folks. I'm laughing because Luka's on live on TV, and he lost his earpiece. On the other end, Jason Tatum hits a three, sends the chef's kiss to the crowd. LeBron slaps him on the back, even though they're on opposite teams. Paul George missing a three from the left.
Did you hear Lucas singing happy birthday to Nicola last night?
I did hear that. As we have a foul on the perimeter. Folks don't know we happen to be in the same restaurant as that crew, and I think there was a karaoke microphone going over, and I have to say, Lucas got a good voice.
Good. Nice to see the two of them really enjoying themselves.
33-32, Team Giannis leading Team LeBron. 3:53 to go, first quarter. Doncic will come out, and the youngest All-Star coming in, that's Anthony Edwards of Minnesota.
DeMar DeRozan must have known who he was going to get picked by.
He's got those yellow shoes on.
Shoes matching
perfectly. Lillard, another logo three, short again. Ball comes off the rim, right off the baseline and out of bounds.
James missed more shots than he missed in about four racks of the three-point contest.
Good point. All right, Anthony Edwards will bring it up. He's got Jaylen Brown, who's got that mask on, seeing it for the first time. He'll lift off, shoot it over his teammate Tatum, missed the shot. Rebounded by Team Giannis, which leads by one. Here's DeRozan against Edwards. Steps to his right. Deep two, the master of the mid-range, knocks it home.
Beautiful strokes. His entire family here with him. I love the way he has the young kids with him. They really enjoy this All-Star trip.
Paul George with a 30-foot pass right to the rim where Jaylen Brown gets up and slams it.
Jaylen's going to want to play. He hasn't had action in a long time.
He has not. Here's DeRozan fading to his right and hits another one. I mean, you just get a spot from the free throw line to the tip of the circle, and he's got it. 37-34 Team Giannis. Paul George drives through two unwilling defenders and takes it right to the rim for the layup. Drew Holiday in the game first time. Here's a long pass to the rim, and Tatum meets it and throws it down.
Missoula's going to get a little nervous. They keep throwing lob passes to Jason Tatum.
Paul George drives hard and dunks with a left hand. 2:40 to go first quarter, 39-38 Team Giannis. We had well north of 300 points last year. And now Holiday misses on a three.
A left-handed three. Drew Holiday, last time I saw him, was not left-handed.
He was telling guys, you know what? I think I might be able to get one in lefty. Didn't get it that time. We got a timeout at 2:33 to go first quarter. $100,000 on the line for the quarter win to the charity of both teams. Right now, Team Giannis 39, Team LeBron 38. This is the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
When Shopify says you can sell anywhere, oh, they mean it. Woo, hold up. Just got a new sale. Order fulfilled and shipped. Inventory level's good. Whoa, Shopify doesn't mind if you're at sea level or on top of the world. You can run and grow your business anywhere. Climbing mountains is never easy, but at least Shopify gives me all the tools I need for my business to hit new peaks.
Whether you're selling carabiners or crop tops, start selling with Shopify today and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. We've built the platform so you can keep climbing and grow your business to new heights.
With Shopify, you really can sell to anyone from anywhere.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. 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 Internet connection required. Not available on mountaintops or seafloors.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, the NBA second half is about to begin. What teams do we have to start taking seriously?
Plus, will the darkness help an NFL team see the light when it comes to their quarterback position?
It's all Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Canty and Carlin.
I don't know Stash's wife. I know Stash. I'm not going to cast any aspersions on her, but I certainly would think, at the very least, what I'm doing, if I'm Stash, as the producer of this show, is we find out the other day that we're going to have a chance to have Patrick Mahomes on at 6:20 Eastern. Even if I'm scheduled to have that day off, Canty, I am at least rolling in the door at 6 o'clock, strong-arming Eric Hanneman out of the way. I'll answer the phone, son. This is the MVP. I'll be talking to him.
At that point, I chose work over her, though.
How long you been married, Stash?
25 years in May.
All right, well, let's call it the truth, okay? I've married 16 years. You know what my Valentine's Day was? Rutgers basketball. That's what my Valentine's Day was, okay? We all know that after 25 years, you can dial it back a little bit on the what's the word I'm looking for here? On all the pageantry? The Valentine's Day.
Happy wife, happy life, guys.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Kevin Ocher with you inside our studios. We are in the opening quarter of the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. Team Giannis with a 1-point lead over Team LeBron. This pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed. Jason Tatum is 13 for Team Giannis. Kyrie Irving, 11 for Team LeBron. Team Giannis by 1. Monica McNutt back to you on the sidelines. What you got?
Thanks, Winter. Well, pregame, guys, I had a chance to talk with Ryan Smith, who is the Utah Jazz majority owner, and I asked him about hosting this weekend. And he said he's so excited that people got the experience of Utah and that everyone loved it. He's like, people think there's no nightlife here, but there's plenty of nightlife. In fact, he thinks this weekend, guys, has rivaled Vegas. But he added there's a wellness factor to this place. And in a world where people need to be well, he said it's clear that a lot of people have moved to Utah to help experience some of that. And I told him I had to commend him because yesterday I was concerned that the HBCU matchup between Southern and Grambling State might not have a good turnout. But, guys, the lower bowl over at the University of Nevada was packed with both alums and just locals. And Ryan said, yeah, Utah's a basketball state. We love our hoops and our fans know what's going on, Kesty.
You know what, Monica, everything's been so well attended this year, all the events here. Will Hardy, the head coach,
He's done
first-year head coach
job.
of the Utah
He's the
Jazz.
candidate for, there's a number, but he's the candidate for Coach of the Year. Talking to DeMar DeRozan, who coached in San Antonio.
How about the two Boston Celtics assistants last year, Will Hardy and Joe Mazzulla? Hardy for Utah here hosting, and, of course, Mazzulla coaching the All-Star game, Boston with the best record in the East.
Will's done such a great job. A lot of people thought this team would be hunting for the lottery and not winning any games at all. And instead, they were off to a great start, and they've been competitive night in and night out.
39-38, Team Giannis leading Team LeBron, 2:30 to go here in our opening quarter. De'Aaron Fox leading it for Team LeBron. From right to left as we watch, they go to Julius Randle. He'll rise from the elbow, miss the jumper. Rebound is loose. Nobody went to get it. Now Pascal Siakam will get it for Team Giannis. I think we might see some defense. I was going to say it was about to turn up, but they just let Siakam go right to the rim and score with the dunk. Still 2 minutes to go in the quarter. 41-38 in favor of Team Giannis. If you're wondering, it was 47-45 in the first quarter last year. Easy layup for Jaylen Brown of Team LeBron.
Think JB will wear the black mask with the Celtics, or he'll have Kelly Green, and
maybe he'll have a whole selection of them. But I think Celtics fans have to be happy to see him out here and competing as Lillard misses a three. Rebound Edwards, down floor for Jaylen Brown, who goes up and tomahawks it. He's feeling better.
Celtics team leads in dunks for sure between Tatum and Brown.
Jaylen Brown took an elbow from his teammate Jason Tatum to the face about a week ago, suffered a facial fracture playing for the first time tonight. Lillard missing another three from the left. Offensive rebound. They reload Lillard, and he misses again. Not used to missing this many in a row.
He made his first one. He hasn't made one since, I don't think.
Paul George lifts for three, no good. 1:15 to go. First quarter, 42-41 Team LeBron. $100,000 on the line for charity to the winner of the quarter. Siakam will try a three. No good out of the corner. Ball is tipped. Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves has it. He'll blow by two defenders, take it to the cup, and throw it down.
These numbers don't compute, Kester. You see what the score is, 44-41. One team's 3 for 16 from three. The other team's 2 for 9.
Cool. 52 seconds to go in the first. Domas Sabonis misses badly on a shot, but the carom went right to Siakam, who puts it in. 1 point game, Team LeBron leading. 45 seconds to go first quarter. Anthony Edwards guarded by Damian Lillard. He was actually being guarded.
He was guarded.
Fox now has it in the corner. Up top to Randall. His three's no good. Team Giannis has it with 32 seconds to go, down 1 first quarter. DeRozan over to Holiday. Left side three is in. Team Giannis takes the lead.
Shot that one right-handed.
His more dominant hand with
Yes.
25 seconds to go here in the quarter. Jaylen Brown blows by and jams it home for the lead. All right, so Team Giannis, Team LeBron tied at 46. Shot clock off. First quarter, $100,000 to the quarter win, or they split it if they tie the quarter.
Almost have the same score as last year. Very close.
DeMar DeRozan backing down Paul George. Legit defense here. Spins, fades, fires, missed it. Rebound Brown. Heaves a three-quarter court. No good, and that means $50,000 will go to each charity. Raise the future for Team Giannis. And big brothers, big sisters of Utah for Team LeBron also get $50,000. Another $100,000 will be on the line for the second quarter. We're through 12 minutes. The 72nd All-Star game in Utah. Team Giannis, Team LeBron tied at 46. This is the 2023 NBA All-Star game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats Rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always wanted to live in a chateau. I like a certain je ne sais quoi. While Jake is more into the Cape Cod style home.
It's a classic look.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they can save even more. In the end, Susan and Jake found a Cape Cod style home where they will only speak French.
Bonjour, je t'aime, merci beaucoup, and cordon bleu.
You'll get better with time. Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
What if I told you, in Iran, women are banned from going to soccer games?
Mom, take the ball.
For 43 years, Iranian women have fought back. Police pushed us. Troops. This is their story.
The joy was forbidden. What is the meaning of that? That is how they control you.
I'm Shimol Yai. Listen to the new 30 for 30 podcast, Pink Card. Available now.
Monday on Fitz and Harry, the latest on Derek Carr as he looks to reach new heights with his new team.
Plus, why the Chicago Bears would be the absolute wrong spot for Bryce Young.
Fitz and Harry, Monday, noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Kevin Richowitz to Insider Studios. Keyshawn, Joel, and Max. Start your morning with them as they recap the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. They're followed by Greeny with Mike Greenberg. All on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPN2. Team Giannis and Team LeBron tied at 46. We are through one quarter. Jason Tatum leads everyone with 13. Kyrie Irving has 11. Mark Chester, PJ Carlissimo, Roscoe One-A, Monica McNutt. My favorite part of that opening quarter, you got LeBron throwing dunks to himself, John Morant double clutching, Dame Dollar pulling up from 35, and yet there's DeMar DeRozan dribbling into mid-range jump shots. Gotta love consistency.
Hey, you got to stay with what you know, what you're good at, and that's what he knows. He gets to his spot, and he lets it fly. And the leading scorers so far, Jason Tatum with 13 points. Kyrie Irving had a burst of 11 points through one. I think we saw maybe a couple of defensive plays toward the end of the first quarter. Maybe we'll get a little something more when those first teamers come out.
We have to get more. It's almost impossible mathematically to not. But three-point shooting has been disappointing. 2 for 11, Team LeBron. 4 for 17, Team Giannis. And despite that, it's 46 all in both teams. Team Antetokounmpo is shooting 57%. Bron's team is shooting 67%.
Well, 22 teams have at least one All-Star selection. That's a new record. Lucas, is he going to try to how do we even describe what they're spinning? They're have these spinning wheels.
Sit behind you and see how Mark Cuban's feeling.
Well, he's probably
out there with the yo-yo.
He's probably going to a Shark Tank right now and say, maybe we should buy these lit orbs that spin quickly on the string and they fly 50 feet in the air and you catch them on the string. And Luca wanted a little piece of it and got to spin it for a little bit. And now we're getting ready for the second quarter.
Rod's over visiting with his classmates, if you will. D. Wade and Carmelo Anthony.
That's
Two
right.
guys have shared a lot of Olympic moments.
Part of
Playing
the
for Team USA, playing in a number of All-Star games.
Part of the Banana Boat gang.
Yeah,
Get back together. We'll have jump balls here for the first, second, and third quarters. There's no possession because we're starting over with the quarter scores at 0. The game score is 46-all. We won't really address the lead score in the game for a little bit. We'll have a target score once we get to the fourth quarter. Here's Anthony Edwards for Team LeBron. Tried to pass to the top. Stolen by Lillard. Bounces it for Siakam. 2 bounces down the lane and puts it in. LeBron went for a chase down block. Nearly got him.
I thought he caught his hand on the rim.
Siakam's like, oh, we're going to play defense, are we? James misses badly on a 3 from the left.
He caught his fingers on the rim.
Here's Sabonis down low. James at home. Yeah, LeBron's kind of looking at his hand right now. You know, he said something interesting before the game. These are going to be the most important 23 regular season games for the Lakers, who are sitting 13th as Randall misses on a 3. And I think his intention is he wants to play all those 23.
Well, I think it was a double message. The most important part of the message was to his teammates going, hey, guys, you better be ready to lace it up. But there's also a little message to the 23 opponents also.
I think LeBron's hand's okay because he just blocked a shot at the rim, and on the other end, Jaylen Brown buries a 3. 4-3 the score in the quarter. 3-pointer up, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander knocks down the triple from Oklahoma City. What a season that 5th year first-time All-Star is having.
Flying a little bit under the radar. I mean, they're having a very good year. Mark Daigneault doing a great job with OKC, but I don't know that the general public appreciates how well Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing.
Julius Randle with a dunk off an offensive rebound. Damian Lillard steps into a 3. Oh, he can't find the stroke right now. Hit one early, hasn't hit one since. Paul George the other way. Free throw line behind the back to Randle. Lifts it up for Brown. Had to regather, make the catch, and then lay it up and in. 7-7 the score in the quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander feeds it back to Siakam with a 2-hand throwdown. Game score is Team Giannis by 2, but the quarter score, all important right now, is Jaylen Brown misses a 3 from the wing. Team Giannis 2-point quarter lead. Sabonis tried to go behind the back and fired one past Damian Lillard out of bounds.
DeMontis is a good passer, not when he's going. I'll tell you, Bron's still looking at his hand, and he just caught it on the rim. I don't think it's a bad injury, but it's bothering him a little bit.
Damian Lillard looks a little frustrated. He's made his first. I think he's missed his last 7.
No, he has. Made the first one. Hasn't made one since.
Yep. John Morant back in for Team Giannis. Dame Lillard will sit down. We're going to look at Tyrese Halliburton making his All-Star debut. Indiana Pacer point guard. He passes it to Anthony Edwards. Misses on the 3. Rebound outlet to Morant. Off the bounce. Grabs it between the legs. Tried to dunk it home. Missed it, but he'll chase down his own rebound. Now bounces one off the deck. Was perfectly placed for Siakam.
That was a really good pass.
Wow. Here's Edwards. Spinning dribble down the lane. Lays it up and in. Morant misses an exciting dunk and then has an absolute dime off a bounce from 40 feet away. There's Markkanen long 3, and it's getting sloppy again. Missed it. Down floor, Jaren Jackson goes deep, lifts with a left hand and throws it home. Team LeBron with a 2-point lead in the quarter, 11-9. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Sabonis couldn't handle the low pass, turns it over. Halliburton's got it, 4-on-1. Team LeBron, lift off, and a dunk for Anthony Edwards on the feed from Jaylen Brown.
That's what I was hoping for, not too many 4-on-1s.
Here's a bad pass for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Tried to find Sabonis, but he's able to come up with a loose change and dunk it anyway. LeBron James from the left hash on the other end misses the 3. Rebound Siakam.
He's already posing. He thought it was in.
Goes high to Markkanen, who grabs at the cup, and the Utah Jazz star throws it home. 13 all in the quarter, 8:26 to go in the second. James takes it deep, lays it up and in.
Yeah, Domantas Sabonis respectfully of his elder got out of the way.
LeBron's got 11. There's Markkanen, receives the pass. Double clutch reverse jam for the 7-footer Lowry Markkanen.
Lowry wants to be in the dunk contest next year.
You know what? They're all invited. They really should ask to be in. It would be a heck of a night. Team LeBron has missed 15 of 18 from deep. Inside the arc now, Jaylen Brown missing on the jumper. Tied at 15. 7:50 to go here in the first half. They go to Markkanen. Thought about a three from the left corner. Thought again. Took it. Missed it.
What do you think they are inside the line? How about 26 or 29?
Keep going there. Jaylen Brown gives it to the cutting Jaren Jackson Jr. with a hammer throwdown. 17-15, Team LeBron in the quarter.
Make it 27 for 30 from
That's
inside
true.
the arc.
We're missing threes and we're making all the 1-foot shots. Here's Morant, 360 in the flush. And with such ease.
He really does make it look easy. He does the same shots in real games when people are defending you. Can't keep him out of the lane.
Pass to Anthony Edwards, who goes to the rim and throws it home. I wonder if John Morant in the hotel last night watched Mac McClung and said, you know what? I would love to have a little run at that. Everyone would love to see it.
Without question.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drives through the lane, has the easy deuce. We have a 0 defense all-star game going on here in Salt Lake City. LeBron from the top for three. It's a miss. Rebound. It's an offensive board. Jaylen Brown has it. Spins. Fires from the left wing. Misses. Rebound Team Giannis. Tied at 19 in the quarter. Down floor, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander puts it off the rim, and it's grabbed and flushed by Siakam.
That was well executed, making tough plays look easy.
LeBron James drives through the double team, got a little too deep, tried to flip it off the glass and missed it. Morant down floor for Gilgeous-Alexander, feeds his new favorite friend Siakam, who throws it home.
Pascal doing a good job. The president, Masai Ujiri, was down at Basketball Without Borders today at the Jazz practice facility. Look out, LeBron coming through.
A baseline drive and a tomahawk slam for James. Just getting loose here. Morant sends it to Markkanen, who grabbed and tried to windmill it home and just missed it. Long offensive rebound. Gilgeous-Alexander, a dynamite behind the back pass. Gives it up, and Sabonis throws it home. They are skilled, I will say that. And they're showing it off here in the first half in Salt Lake City.
They're having a good time also.
Paul George, a three that went, but I heard a whistle. Timeout was called, and I don't think they're going to count it. They won't, as Michael Malone hopped off the Team LeBron bench and called for the timeout before the bucket. And so we'll step away from Salt Lake City. Team Giannis, 25. Team LeBron, 21. That's the quarter score with 5:42 to go in the second. You're listening to the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Coming up Monday, XFL owners Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia join us to recap the XFL's opening weekend. Keyshawn, J. Will, and X, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Even icons have to start somewhere. Before they change the game, they change the conference with every block, dunk, and dime, turning basketball in the South into must-see TV. Southern Hoops, a history of SEC basketball, Part 4, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network, presented by Kaiser BioNTech.
It feels like his maturity is like stunted at a certain point. As someone who I think I see a little bit of this curiosity that Kyrie has, I see that in myself.
Check out the Dominic Foxworth Show anywhere you get your podcast.
ABC Hockey Saturday drops the puck with an afternoon doubleheader. First, Red Hunter Teddy Panarin and the New York Rangers head to Washington, D.C. to face Nick Backstrom and the Capitals. Then, Sidney Crosby looks to power the Pittsburgh Penguins past Jordan Kyrou and the St. Louis Blues. ABC Hockey Saturday, presented by Expedia. Rangers Capitals at 1 p.m. Eastern. Penguins Blues at 3:30. Saturday on ABC and ESPN+. That is hockey.
Did you miss Canty and Carlin?
Justin Fields in reference to Chicago and the weather. Yes, it is very difficult to adjust to it, especially with the wind. That's what I found out. It's hard to stay warm in that weather. I hope we get a dome. He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. My wife is from Chicago, and she can't stand the cold, especially when you start talking about January and February. That cold smack you in your face, Carlin.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Witcher with you in our studios. Coming up on the AutoZone halftime report, my conversation with one of the newest members of the Basketball Hall of Fame, Anscape's Mark J. Spears, who won the Kurt Gowdy Award and is being honored with the Kurt Gowdy Hall of Fame Award from the print media. Anscape's Mark J. Spears will join me at the half. Raw's go to Monday. Back to you guys at Vivint Arena.
I spoke with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander about his first All-Star appearance, and he told me it was a dream come true. And he said it came by really not focusing on it, focusing on what I can control, my attitude, and it came to fruition. He's got a huge contingent here at the game. His dad, his brother, his cousin, his closest friends, and his girlfriend are here for his first All-Star appearance. He walked in a long tan fur coat. He's an all-star in fashion. He told me he brought 4 outfits and a backup. He was ready for his moment.
Roz, he definitely could be on GQ magazine with some of the stuff he has brought in. He's one of the more underrated players in the league. He's playing in Oklahoma City. He's the 5th leading scorer at 31 points per game. Remember, he came up with the Clippers, went in the Paul George, and he is a centerpiece right now for a OKC Thunder team that is building with a ton of draft capital coming.
I tell you what, he's one of those guys also who doesn't just score, but he makes his teammates better. They're really playing well. They're impressed. They got some games with some of the honchos in the West. You know, people are looking at their schedule, games left, and they're going, these guys are down low. OKC is going to be a tough out, home or away.
And we have some of the Team LeBron starters in. Not LeBron, but Joel Embiid is in. He's got the ball at the top. Jokic is in, so is Kyrie Irving. Halliburton drives, takes it right to the rim and scores. I think they actually drew up a play.
I was just going to say, they actually drew that up, but they made 3 more passes than they needed to.
We had an ATO here. Tatum at the top. 3 pops out, no good. Halliburton the rebound. 25-23, Team Giannis in the quarter. 2-point lead in the game overall as well. Embiid going to try a 3 from the left. It's no good. Rebounded by Tatum of Team Giannis. To Donovan Mitchell, back in Utah. Drives down the lane. Kyrie Irving defending, but the layup goes good for Mitchell, who claimed he was hit. No call. Long court pass for Jokic goes by him out of bounds. We got a turnover as well.
Joker was waving to somebody in the crowd, or I think actually one of our...
somebody say happy birthday to him?
Charity teams, yes.
By the way, the charity teams, sponsors, and the kids, they have great seats here on the baseline tonight as Donovan Mitchell scores and Team Giannis increases the lead in the quarter to 4. Halliburton on the drive. Nobody comes to defend as he takes it and slams it.
Nice screen by Joel Embiid. Looked like a pulling guard. Just wiped out Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen on the other end missing a 3 with 4.5 minutes to go in our first half. 29-25. Team Giannis leads in the quarter. They lead the game 75-71. Right corner, Halliburton 3 is good. Boy, he was on fire to start the 3-point contest last night.
That whole first round, he was incredible.
Bam just dribbled it off his foot. Team LeBron has it. Embiid to Kyrie, to Jokic in the corner. Ball fake and a drive. Opposite corner, Halliburton launching a 3. Missed it. Off the top of the backboard. It hit the shot clock. It's out of bounds to Team Giannis.
First Aaron his whistle there.
Mark Lindsay, John Goebel, Michael Smith are officials.
How about Michael Smith? This is his 30th reason that I believe Monty picked him, in addition to him being such an excellent official. 30th year officiating in the league. 59 playoff games.
As Tatum scores Take mental notes. We won't try that again. Feeds the cutting Embiid who lays it in.
Jason Tatum faked like he was going to take a charge, and then
Fur coats. He's an all-star in fashion. He told me he brought 4 outfits and a backup. He was ready for his moment.
Roz, he definitely could be on GQ magazine with some of the stuff he has brought in. He's one of the more underrated players in the league. He's playing in Oklahoma City. He's the 5th leading scorer at 31 points per game. Remember, he came up with the Clippers, went in the Paul George, and he is a centerpiece right now for a OKC Thunder team that is building with a ton of draft capital coming.
I tell you what, he's one of those guys also who doesn't just score, but he makes his teammates better. They're really playing well. They're impressed. They got some games with some of the honchos in the West. You know, people are looking at their schedule, games left, and they're going, these guys are down low. OKC is going to be a tough out, home or away.
And we have some of the Team LeBron starters in. Not LeBron, but Joel Embiid is in. He's got the ball at the top. Jokic is in, so is Kyrie Irving. Halliburton drives, takes it right to the rim and scores. I think they actually drew up a play.
I was just going to say, they actually drew that up, but they made 3 more passes than they needed to.
We had an ATO here. Tatum at the top. 3 pops out, no good. Halliburton the rebound. 25-23, Team Giannis in the quarter. 2-point lead in the game overall as well. Embiid going to try a 3 from the left. It's no good. Rebounded by Tatum of Team Giannis. To Donovan Mitchell back in Utah. Drives down the lane. Kyrie Irving defending, but the layup goes good for Mitchell, who claimed he was hit. No call. Long court pass for Jokic goes by him out of bounds. We got a turnover as well.
Joker was waving to somebody in the crowd, or I think actually one of our
somebody say happy birthday to him?
Charity team, yes.
By the way, the charity teams, sponsors, and the kids, they have great seats here on the baseline tonight as Donovan Mitchell scores and Team Giannis increases the lead in the quarter to 4. Halliburton on the drive. Nobody comes to defend as he takes it and slams it.
Nice screen by Joel Embiid. Looked like a pulling guard. Just wiped out Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen on the other end, missing a 3 with 4.5 minutes to go in our first half. 29-25. Team Giannis leads in the quarter. They lead the game 75-71. Right corner, Halliburton 3 is good. Boy, he was on fire to start the 3-point contest last night.
That whole first round, he was incredible.
Bam just dribbled it off his foot. Team LeBron has it. Embiid to Kyrie, to Jokic in the corner. Ball fake and a drive. Opposite corner, Halliburton launching a 3. Missed it off the top of the backboard. It hit the shot clock. It's out of bounds to Team Giannis.
First, Aaron, his whistle there.
Mark Lindsay, John Goebel, Michael Smith are officials.
How about Michael Smith? This is his 30th reason that I believe Monty picked him, in addition to him being such an excellent official. 30th year officiating in the league. 59 playoff games.
As Tatum scores on the bucket. It's symbolic because that was the year Utah had the All-Star.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Michael Smith said, reading his biography in the guide, the official's guide, he said his most memorable NBA moment was refereeing the 2008 All-Star game in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We had a dunk on one end from Joel Embiid, and then Bam Adebayo, the Miami Heat, comes down and slams it through. So let's reset the quarter score, 33-30. Team Giannis leading Team LeBron. 3:20 to go. Here's Embiid. 3-pointer went halfway down, no good. But Jokic there on the weak side to stick it in.
Guys up in the air to get the rebound.
The relative term. Hey, some defense. Jokic turned him over at half and pumps the fist, and Irving puts it off the glass, but the Joker wasn't ready for that one. He was like, come on, Kyrie, you can finish that off. Here's Mitchell at the top of 3, rattles it home. Team Giannis extends its quarter lead to 4.
Joker likes to stay closer to the floor than leaving up for those alley-oops.
Paul George goes to Kyrie, who's taking mental notes. We won't try that again. Feeds the cutting Embiid, who lays it in.
Jason Tatum faked like he was going to take a charge and then wisely got out of the way.
2:40 to go in the half. Donovan Mitchell being defended by Irving. Legit defense that time. In fact, the double came and a whistle and an actual foul.
Joker threw the ball at John Gold, bounced it at him politely.
2:38 to go, first half. Team Giannis leads the quarter by 2. They lead the All-Star game by 2 as well, 82-80. This is the 2023 NBA All-Star game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats Rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
This is it. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's Shopify to grow at your pace.
Bundling and saving with access to all. Second half is about to begin. What teams do we have to start taking seriously? Plus, will the darkness help an NFL team?
It has been an entertaining first half in Salt Lake City. Right now, overall, Team Giannis leads
ESPN app.
Kevin with you inside our studios. It has been an entertaining first half in Salt Lake City. Right now, overall, Team Giannis leads Team LeBron 82-80. 2:38 to go. And don't forget, on the AutoZone halftime reporter, Anscape's Mark J. Spears, who's headed to the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's going to join me. Casty, back to you.
Kev, thank you very much. Donovan Mitchell back here to Utah, playing tonight in the All-Star game. With more on him, let's go to Monica.
Cassie, I mean, it's just been such a great weekend. So many different causes, and guys have the opportunity to really show what they support. And Donovan Mitchell did that yesterday. He came to the matchup between Southern University and Grambling State, the Battle of the Bayou, the HBCU showcase that was aired yesterday. But prior to the game, actually, on Friday, he met with the teams and gave him his latest Adidas pair of sneakers. And so the teams got brand new sneakers to participate in the game. They got to spend some time with Donovan, and he shared with us during the broadcast yesterday that it's just so important that we continue to put resources back into our HBCUs. And he knows that that is something that is very important, obviously being the son of an educator. His mom is a career teacher, Kesty.
Absolutely, from New York City. Did it here in Salt Lake City. Donovan Mitchell doing it in Cleveland as well. His new hometown. This is his first All-Star game as a starter. 5 trips to the playoffs in his 5 years in Utah. It's a winner. It's amazing. They completely deconstructed, right? Sending Mitchell and Rudy Gobert away. And the pieces they got back and even some trades they made at the deadline, Danny Ainge has them well positioned here in Salt Lake City.
Tell you, they got a bundle back. I mean, Cleveland wanted a superstar for the playoffs. It's an absolute must if you're going to be successful. And Donovan Mitchell was available. They gave up an awful lot. Lowry Markkanen, one of the commodities that they brought in, and he's starting a replacement starter, but starting the All-Star game.
PJ, I know you coached a long time. Remind me, what's this? There's a foul, and you go and shoot free throws if you're trying to attack the basket. It's a first free throw.
I remember everybody standing on the side of the line like that, yeah.
First free throw of the All-Star game came after 162 points combined were scored, and Donovan Mitchell hits both.
If I'm not mistaken, Monty McCutcheon had a meeting with the 3 officials after that call. Told them to relax a little bit here.
The quarter score, Team Giannis 38, Team LeBron 34. We have 2.5 to go. $100,000 to charity to the quarter winner. They split the first quarter, $50,000 each, so $200,000 in the bank for both charities. Here's Embiid behind the line, corner 3 goes down. Team LeBron down 1, and a Paul George steal on the inbound goes to the right corner. His 3's not there, rebounded by DeRozan. Down for Mitchell. Mitchell drives, double clutches on the pass. It goes through a number of players. Last touch by Team Giannis out of bounds.
They faked out everybody on the floor, including Bam Adebayo. Nice pass.
Jokic with a 65-foot dime right to the rim to Embiid for the score, and Team LeBron goes in front.
I don't think Nikola Jokic has looked at the rim yet.
No, he hasn't.
He looks for the other blue shirts on the floor with him.
But you can't stop DeMar DeRozan in the mid-range. A serious hop to the right, and he drops home the 21-footer. Team Giannis with a 1-point quarter lead, and 40 to go in the half. Paul George behind the back on the bounce to Embiid, flips it cross court to Kyrie. He'll square, he'll shoot, and he'll bury a triple.
Well, I don't know if they should be shooting threes. Team LeBron, believe it or not, is shooting 90% from inside the 3.
Donovan Mitchell with a 3-point answer for Team Giannis going in front. 43-42 in the quarter, leading the All-Star game by 1 as well. Here's Irving, 2 big steps down the lane, and changes to the right hand and spins it home. Jokic went for the backcourt steal, didn't get it. Donovan Mitchell, Team Giannis trailing. Mitchell drives deep, flips it up, flips it in. Minute to go in the quarter. Team Giannis by 1. It's 91-90 on the big scoreboard. There's Kyrie Irving ducking under the defense right to the rim and scores it.
I said usually you can tell who's going for the MVP. I have no idea right now. There's a lot of players who would be kid. Dame
Ends the streak.
Yeah, exactly.
He had been 0 for his last 8 from deep, and he just knocked home the triple. And now has a look for his former Portland teammate, Carmelo Anthony.
Coach Adetokounmpo prowling the end line down there.
There he is. Only played a minute tonight if you're just joining us. Joel Embiid missing a 3. Half a minute to go. Team Giannis up 2 in the ball. Here's Tatum. Flips it to Lillard. Corner 3 on its way. And good. Dame time late in the half with 26 seconds to go in the second. Team LeBron down 5. Kyrie flips it to the corner to George. PG missing a 3. Rebounded by Tatum. 17 seconds to go in the quarter. And Team Giannis looks like they're going to put $100,000 in the bank for Raise the Future. Here's Mitchell. Give and go to Tatum, who glides through and jams.
I was scared there for a minute. I thought they were going to hold the ball for one shot. But that passing thought right there.
Tatum has 17 points. Luka from half court lets it fly wide left. Puts his hands to his head and said, I can't believe I just chucked a brick. Team Giannis puts up 53 in the second quarter, PG, and a 53-46 quarter win means that Team Giannis's charity future gets another $100,000. They're up to $300,000 earned tonight here in Salt Lake.
And Team Giannis is up to 99 first half points.
Tatum with 17 points to lead the way. Donovan Mitchell with 16 points, the second high score for Team Giannis. Team LeBron being led by Kyrie Irving, who has 18 points, and Joel Embiid coming in second with 15 on the Team LeBron stat sheet. We're at the half here in Salt Lake City. Team Giannis nearly put up 100 in the half. They lead 99-92 over Team LeBron 2 quarters in. Now let's send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
Kesty, PJ, Monica, Roz. AutoZone has free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. If you like offense, yep, you're going to love NBA All-Star games. 99-92 at the half. But I like this. PJ mentioned Team LeBron, 6 of 30 from beyond the arc. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, has 17. Giannis got 1 basket, 20 seconds in, and then he checked himself out. Remember, he's dealing with that wrist injury. Tatum is 17. Donovan Mitchell has 16. Kyrie Irving leads everyone. He has 18. Remember, we're going to play one more quarter regularly, and then the fourth quarter will have a target score. So whoever is leading at the end of 3, we're going to add 24 points to their total, and that's going to be our target score. Coming up next on the AutoZone halftime report, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, Mark J. Spears of Anscape, who is headed to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. All that is up next on the AutoZone halftime report. At the half in Salt Lake City, it is Team Giannis with a 99-92 lead over Team LeBron. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
What if I told you in Iran, women are banned from going to soccer games?
Mom, take the ball. I love you.
For 43 years, Iranian women have fought back. Police pushed us. Troops. This is their story.
The joy was forbidden. What is the meaning of that? That is how they control you.
I'm Shimol Yai. Listen to the new 30 for 30 podcast, Pink Card. Available now.
Monday on Fitz and Harry, the latest on Derek Carr as he looks to reach new heights with his new team.
Plus, why the Chicago Bears would be the absolute wrong spot for Bryce Young.
Fitz and Harry, Monday, noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, XFL owners Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia join us to recap the XFL's opening weekend. Keyshawn, J. Will, and X, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hey, I'm Field Yates, host of First Draft. Join me and Mel Kiper Jr.
You see him in the right game, you think he could be QB1 or should be QB1.
And Todd McShay.
Once he does, and I assume he will, I think he's got a chance to be a really good starter in the league.
And a reminder, this year, every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we come at you live. You want to watch on the ESPN YouTube page? You want to watch on the ESPN app? You want to watch on Twitter? Live content every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or find us wherever you get your podcasts.
The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
Ben Simmons is sometimes
years out. I will say it's interesting. I was thinking about this last night, that we make a big distinction between the player being out because he's being injured as opposed to he's being appropriately rested. Either way, you're disappointing the fans. And I think just hypothetically, if we knew formulaically that this ex-superstar, if he takes off this game in November and this game in December, that he's X% more likely to be healthy in January and February, I think we'd all say we take that trade-off, because it's an ethical dilemma a bit, but you're going to disappoint fans and potentially more fans if he's injured for a stretch as opposed to those two. I think, and I was rambling a bit last night, and I think why is because I think the ultimate issue is how reliable is the science? And that's what I'm really focused on right now. I'm trying to move this away to it being an adversarial issue, either between us and the players, or us, the league office and the players, or frankly, us and the teams. Because in fairness to the players, much of this resting is being directed by the teams and their sports staff who is saying that we have a formula. And by the way, just to be clear, so listeners understand, load management goes to 24 hours a day. These players have wearables on. It goes to how much they sleep, how much their movement is, all these different measures they now use. I just think the question at the end of the day is, you take all these inputs, is that how reliable is this information? And I think we'll sort through this. There's no easy fix here. It's certainly not about turning the clock back and saying, just get out there and play. I mean, we all know that there's plenty of guys who are hobbled these days, who played back in the day, who maybe under different circumstances, different treatment, would be in better health right now. On the other hand, these are professionals. They're being paid. And as my colleague Joe Dumars says, as a former player and as a former GM, there's sort of hurt, where most guys are hurt all season long, various body parts, and then there's injured. And you never, of course, want a guy playing injured. And then the question is, in that category of hurt, is there some measurement of hurt where you'd say, you're risking this player's health if he continues to play while he's hurt, or is it just a bit painful and reduce his minutes somewhat and get him out on the floor? So I feel like there's a lot of smart people focused on this. As I said, behind closed doors with the Players Association, this is not an adversarial issue, because they want to be on the floor too. These are the most competitive players in the world. And in many cases, it's a team telling them they shouldn't play. And so we will do a better job. We'll work through it. I think this is another area where, look at the enormous advances in AI technology coming to bear. And I think when you take lots of data and the teams share it with us, and we're working with the Players Association, we'll have a better understanding of what's working and what's not.
You're always very gracious with your time. It's been a great weekend in Salt Lake City. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for being here.
Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA. Let's go back to the studio.
That is Mark Kestisher with Adam Silver, PJ Carlissimo, Kevin Winter with you. The commish, now in his 10th season, his 10th NBA All-Star game. He said yesterday at his State of the League press conference that he does every All-Star Saturday night, he said this is the most competitive season in the history of the NBA when you look at wins and losses, and particularly in the Western Conference, the way they are stacked up between spots 4 through seed 13. Kevin Winter with you. We are at the half on the AutoZone halftime report here with the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. Team Giannis leading Team LeBron 99-92. We'll get you back out to Vivint Arena for the call of the second half. And, of course, our Elam ending tonight. Still have to figure out what the target score is going to be. End of the third. Whoever has the highest amount of points, the most points, we're going to add 24 to that. That will be our target score. Coming up next on the AutoZone halftime report, one of the newest members of the Basketball Hall of Fame, Mark J. Spears of Anscape. He's going in this summer. He has been given the award, the Kurt Gowdy Media Award. We'll hear my conversation with Mark. He joins me next, and we talk second half of the NBA season. At the break, Team Giannis with a 99-92 lead over Team LeBron. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
This is it. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's time to get Shopify.
You go and get it.
Oh, oops. I thought I was just talking to myself there. But heck yeah, I do. It's time to take my business to the next level.
Start selling with Shopify to join the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. From templates that make site design simple to customizations that let you grow at your pace. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. That's shopify.com/play. Go to shopify.com/play to take your business to the next level today.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Coming up Monday, XFL owners Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia join us to recap the XFL's opening weekend. Keyshawn, J. Will, and X, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Greeny.
I believe if he announced today his retirement, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. After 5 years, he's played 6 total. He's only actually been on the field for 5 of them. He would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Mike Greenberg, Greeny.
My first favorite player, and there is always a special place in your heart for your first favorite player. Wore number 73 for those Jets. And his name was Joe Klecko. And it has broken my heart time after time, year after year, to see him passed over for the Hall of Fame. He was a genuinely great player. He was a Pro Bowl player at 3 different positions on the defensive line. He was the unquestioned leader and best player on a group called the Sack Exchange, which in the early 80s was one of the most dominant defenses in the National Football League, and which unquestionably was the most in love I've ever been with any group, any team, anything in sports in my lifetime. And yesterday, it was announced that that player, finally, after all these years, will take his rightful place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
And we are at the half at Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. The crowd being entertained. A couple of performances. Team Giannis with a 99-92 lead over Team LeBron here on the AutoZone halftime report. Kevin Winter with you. One of the events that took place this weekend was the announcement of the finalists for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. The inductees for the Basketball Hall of Fame are going to be revealed during the Final Four weekend in Houston. But also this weekend, the recipients of the 2023 Naismith Hall of Fame Kurt Gowdy Media Award were announced. And 2 for ESPN are going. Mark Spears of Anscape and Holly Rowe. She is going on the electronic side. Mark is going on the print media side. Mark J. Spears of Anscape joins me here on the AutoZone halftime report of the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. So what was it like yesterday when you get the phone call that says you're a Hall of Famer?
It was funny. I was actually on the phone
with Mike Brown when I got the call, and I had to the Sacramento Kings head coach. And I was like, "Hey, Mike, I think this call is important. Let me, coach, can I call you back?" It's a little awkward because you tell the NBA head coach I got to, take this phone call, right? And I got it, and it was John DeLeva from the Hall of Fame telling me I got in, and I was just stunned. But I don't think it was until they actually said it at the ceremony that it really, really hit that I was in. Because it's like, maybe something will fall between the cracks before then. They'll change their mind. So once I heard them say it publicly, once I saw the press release come out, I think it really, really hit me. It's an amazing honor. As a kid who I dreamed of, being an NBA player, but also saw a stat when I was in the 7th grade that less than 2% of NBA players college basketball players make it to the NBA. So I was just realistic and kind of thought if I could figure out a way to be close to basketball, that would be the next best thing if I couldn't actually play in the league. And, I was able to do it. And I'm blessed that they think my work is worthy enough to get me into the Hall of Fame.
What are you most proud of, Mark, over your 20-plus year career covering the NBA?
I think it's the ability to, one, get the players to let their guard down and tell their story.
Right.
And I've been blessed that they are confident in me that I could tell their story fairly. And a lot of these stories have depth, pain, intriguing or sad circumstances. But another thing is, I've, written a lot about diversity and lack thereof, about race, and gender. And I think I played, from what people tell me, a strong role in bringing highlight to, when there was a lack of black head coaches in the NBA and a predominantly black league, bringing a highlight to that. And I had many people tell me that they felt like I helped influence change in that regard for not only black coaches, but for black people in the front office. And, trying to bring highlight to, women in the industry and, getting them opportunities. And so a lot of the things I write about aren't always the easiest topics to write about.
No.
A lot of times there are things that people don't want to read about, but I kind of feel like in order to try to make beautiful change in this country, you got to be willing to have a conversation. You got to be willing to talk about things that are uncomfortable in order to hopefully make this a better place for everybody. And it appears that people believe that I've been able to do that.
Anscape's Mark J. Spears joining us here on NBA on ESPN Radio at the AutoZone halftime report of the 72nd NBA All-Star Game in Salt Lake City. Mark, the recipient of the Kirk Gowdy Award for Media for print, heading to the Hall of Fame coming up. Hey, let's look back at last night. Does Mac McClung, what kind of future does he have in the NBA? What kind of chance?
Well, you're going to make me make it a downer. That's what we saw.
Be nice.
Last night. No. Yeah, I'm just being realistic with it because, you're talking to a former college basketball player who's been covering NBA for, 24 years now, and I've seen a lot of people with hops, right?
Right.
His leaping ability is beyond special. And having played college basketball, having been around the NBA, there's just a different bounce that he has that when you see him, he's just in a different class. The last person I saw jump like that was Demetrius Hook Mitchell, who's a famous street baller from the Bay Area. He used to jump over Volkswagen bugs and do 360s over 10 speed. This is elite hops. The challenge he's had is, he's been in the G League with the Warriors. He's been in the G League with the Lakers, is showing the rest of your game.
Right.
Because it's not a dunk contest in the game. He's an extraordinary athlete, but he has to figure out a way to the rest of his game as a point guard, as a playmaker, as a shooter, to incorporate the rest of those skills to get him in the NBA. And there's no question his athleticism is 1%. But if he continues to improve the rest of his game, as he's been diligently trying to do in the G League, I think he'll eventually find a home.
He signed the 10-day contract with the Philadelphia 76ers,
Yeah.
so we'll get a little run coming up. Mark J. Spears of Anscape joining us here on the AutoZone halftime report at the 72nd NBA All-Star Game. Look, Mark, when this week resumes, when play resumes on Thursday, It is only 24 or 25 games for most teams. It's 6 weeks of the season. That's it. This is not a normal All-Star game in the midway point. This is a sprint. What in your mind is going to be the biggest storyline that you're going to be focusing on?
The Western Conference is like an old school battle royal, man, with Jimmy Superfly Snicker in it, and
So who's Andre the Giant?
Animal Steel, and Andre the Giant. And they're just beating each other up, like who's still going to be in there. You know what I mean? And it's going to be also interesting to see, like, are the Warriors and Lakers going to do play-in again? Right. I have my eyes on the Sacramento Kings. Like,
really,
they're an incredible story. They're in third seed, and I went by there at a luncheon yesterday that I stopped by, and there's just this excitement yet nervousness because now the stakes are higher in Sacramento. This is a franchise that hasn't been in the playoffs since 2006. They don't want to be in the play-in. They want to be in the playoffs. They want to make it. And in a sense, it's almost like winning a championship for them. And it's been so long, and there's been so much ridicule, and there's no pro sports franchise that has had a longer playoff drought currently than them. And I bet you if they clinch a spot, you would have thought that they won a championship in Sacramento. If they clinch it at home, or if they're going to clinch in their road, I bet you they open up the Golden One Center. Like, that's going to be an incredible story.
ESPN's Mark J. Spears of Inscape. Again, Mark, congratulations on being named the Kirk Dowdy recipient for the Media Award into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Kevin Winter with you here on the AutoZone Halftime Report at the break. Team Giannis leads Team LeBron 99-92. We got scoring here. We've had scoring during the regular season and the first part of the season as well. Here's ESPN Radio's Christine Lacey.
The pre-All-Star portion of the NBA season saw tons of scoring. I mean lots, especially from an individual standpoint.
Giannis, he's going for 50, right wing three. Yes, sir.
Tatum with a right wing three. Yes. Joel with the dribble. 4 to shoot. Step back three. It's up. It's good.
There were 138 40-point games in the first half of the season. That's already the second most all-time in an entire season.
Donovan Mitchell with 41. This is his 6th game of 40 or more points. That's why he's going to Salt Lake.
There were 142 40-point games in the 1961-62 season. 26 players have multiple 40-point games, the most in a season in NBA history. 46 players have at least one 40-point game.
Luka steps back, three-pointer for the tie is good.
Dame, another deep three. Yes! The right-hand sledgehammer. Oh, what a move by Gildas Alexander. Crown him with 40 tonight, baby.
Entering the All-Star break, 6 different players are averaging 30 points, on pace to tie the 1961-62 for the most in a season in NBA history. Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Damian Lillard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jason Tatum. Oh, and LeBron James is just under that mark, averaging 29.98 points per game this season. But of course, he has the points that matter the most.
James free throw line. James fade. Jumper good. NBA history in Los Angeles.
Oh, hell. The new king in town.
ESPN Radio's Christine Lacey, thank you very much. Our thanks as well to WTMJ, WTMI, 98.5 The Sports Hub, 97.5 The Fanatic, WTAM, Rip City Radio's is 620, WWLS 98.1 The Sports Animal, 710 ESPN in LA. Coming up next, we're going to get you back out to Salt Lake City. We're going to start the second half. Team Giannis with a 7-point lead over Team LeBron. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app. Second half of the Utah's next. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio.
Monday on Canty and Carlin, the NBA second half is about to begin. What teams do we have to start taking seriously?
Plus, will the darkness help an NFL team see the light when it comes to their quarterback position?
It's all Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Mike Greenberg.
He's taking his lovely wife out for dinner on Valentine's Day, and so you made a reservation for what time?
1 o'clock.
He made a dinner reservation for 1 o'clock and is now trying to argue that that can indeed be a dinner, because dinner doesn't have to be defined by the time of day in which it is being eaten.
Right. Is there some sort of rule that I don't know about as to what time dinner starts in the minds of everyone?
It's not 1 p.m.
How these meals are determined has nothing to do with the time of day. If people like eating breakfast for dinner, that's breakfast. You're just doing it late at night.
That's the whole thing. They'll say, oh, I'm having breakfast for dinner.
Would I be better off not taking her out today?
No one said that.
You're acting like you've done something wrong. The thing you've done wrong is try to redefine it. Millions of people in this country today will take their significant other for lunch. That is a perfectly acceptable and reasonable thing to do. What I'm trying to tell you is they'll be having lunch.
Training with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. Forgotten First with Keyshawn Johnson.
Marion Motley was the best high school fullback during his days at McKinley High School in his hometown of Canton, Ohio. Motley was recruited to play at South Carolina State, but it wasn't a good fit, and he transferred to the University of Nevada, which was coached by a former McKinley coach who knew about Motley. It was a perfect spot for the running back. Motley returned home to Canton, where he worked in a factory, but he got a call from Paul Brown not long after Bill Willis had signed with the Browns. Motley quickly became the league's best running back, although he and Willis faced challenges in becoming the league's only black players, subjected to taunts and cheap shots by opponents. Motley was a mainstay of the Browns' backfield, a terrific blocker as well as a punishing runner who was instrumental in Cleveland's NFL championship in 1950. Motley was the first black player selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1968.
Black History Always. Celebrating Black History Month on ESPN Radio. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Patrick Mahomes is already one of the great quarterbacks ever. Are they a dynasty?
I think they're a dynasty. You get to 5 AFC championship games, 3 Super Bowl appearances, you win 2 of them. Your quarterback is a 2-time MVP. He's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. You have a Hall of Fame coach, maybe one of the top 5 greatest coaches of all time. It's the start of a dynasty.
G, J, and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Richard with you inside our studios. Another good for us on the AutoZone halftime report. 72nd All-Star Game team. Giannis leads Team LeBron 99-92. Before we rejoin Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Monica McNutt, let's join Roz going to 1A on the sidelines with the coach of Team LeBron, Michael Malone. Roz?
Michael, it's great to see you here at All-Star. I got to talk to you about the strategy aspect of this. The draft, right before the game, you figure out who your players are and your roster is. How do you adjust to that and make a strategy?
You don't. Like yesterday, we had a practice. We didn't know who our players were. But the NBA does a great job trying to make it exciting for the fans. So the draft was pretty cool. And either team is going to get great players at this event. We just have to find a way to play a little bit of defense to maybe find a way to get back in this game.
Okay. You've had the chance to coach LeBron, Team LeBron in the All-Star before. You know, you see him bring such energy to the game in his 20th season, 19th straight All-Star. What is it like just to enjoy that and also coach him?
You know, I've been around LeBron for a lot of years, and to be back reunited with him over All-Star weekend, something I don't take for granted. He just broke Kareem's all-time scoring record. He set the record tonight with most All-Star appearances. And the relationship I have, it makes this weekend so much fun because he's such a class act. He did a great job with the team, and knowing that he's behind me and supports me means a lot.
Hey, Coach, last one. They just want to update. Is there anything on LeBron's hand? Is he okay? And will we see him in the second half?
I think LeBron is fine, but you will not see him in the second half. I think once he came out that last time out in that second quarter, I think that was the end of LeBron, unfortunately. I could use him, though.
Thank you, Coach. Great to see you. Monica, over to you.
Thanks, Roz. I'm here with Coach Joe Mazzulla. All right, Coach, how would you assess that first half?
A lot of fun. Guys filling it out. Just like watching the guys compete. Like watching the guys interact with each other. And it's really cool to see a bunch of guys that have dedicated their life to, trying to be great and achieve a dream, be out there together.
I know you're a guy that really chases down gratitude. This is the first for you. It's a big deal. How are you feeling and taking in this moment?
Yeah, just trying to be as quiet as I can and soak it all in. And, just give back to the guys and watch them just compete.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
Back to you, Kesty.
All right. Thanks a lot, Monica. Joe Mazzulla he's an outstanding young coach, but this has been the most relaxed that we have seen him since he took over as head coach. He's enjoying this, which is great to see.
We had the best pregame interview with him. He was smiling, laughing. I don't want to say he doesn't enjoy coaching Boston, but there may be a tiny bit more pressure on the Celtic games.
Yes, just a little bit. And the Celtics, of course, leading the Eastern Conference in the standings. The Denver Nuggets are the leaders in the Western Conference standings. Good to hear from Michael Malone, at least to say that he feels LeBron is all right. But again, that's the news coming into the second half is he is not going to play the rest of the All-Star
saw
game.
right when it happened. I think it happened, if my recollection is right. He tried to block a shot. I thought he hit his hand on the rim trying to block a shot. And you could see as he was coming up the court, he was looking at it. He had lifted up his hand in front of him, and he kept looking at it. And I don't know why. You should never speculate on injuries. I don't think it's a serious injury, but as Michael Malone said, we're not going to see him second half.
So LeBron James ends up with 13 points in 14 minutes, extending his record for most All-Star points to 426, and you get those kind of records when you play in 19 consecutive All-Star games.
And by coincidence, the two leading vote getters, the two captains of the two teams, are now the two coaches of the two teams, because we won't see Giannis or LeBron.
That's right. Giannis checked out after the first minute. Kind of a cool scene right now for the folks here in Utah. Karl Malone is being honored on the stage to our right. Remember, he was the number 2 all-time scorer in NBA history. He has since dropped to number 3 after LeBron's ascent. But what an incredible career here in Salt Lake City. Karl Malone, we see John Stockton's here as well. And could only have hoped that, Jerry Sloan could have been here as well. Of course, passed away recently. The three of them, that was Utah NBA basketball for a long time.
Absolutely. And the two statues out front are great statues of John and Carl and how much they meant. Now look at who they just put up on the board, Kesty. We got the captain up on the board.
So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had been the leading scorer in All-NBA, now number 2, comes out onto the stage. And I believe this is going to be an honor to LeBron James coming. We'll see if James takes to the stage. But Kareem held that all-time scoring record for 38-plus years. Dwayne Wade is taking to the stage right now and grabbing a microphone. And let's see if we can check in on Dwayne Wade.
Broke the record in 84. In that same year, a future king was born. When they call you the chosen one before you finish high school, the expectations are sky high. For 19 years, we've all been witnesses. No matter the challenge, no matter the noise, he was relentless. He's not just a 4-time MVP or a 19-time All-Star or a gold medalist or NBA champion. He's a son, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a friend. And now, he's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. The king himself, my brother, LeBron James.
And here he comes, LeBron James, still in his all-star warm-up. Thanks to his good buddy, Dwayne Wade. They've got the number 38,388. That was the number to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We'll see if LeBron addresses the crowd here in Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. Right now, a hug for LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Oh, here comes Captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Big hug for LeBron. And Karl Malone. Man, he passed along the way. Big hug. Yeah, that's how the game has changed. LeBron wants a picture here, and I don't blame him. There you go. The top 3 scorers in NBA history all together on the stage here in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely incredible. And another thing they absolutely share, Kesty, incredible men, really nice individuals, totally different, but they've represented the game of basketball so well for so many years.
Well, that's what NBA All-Star has come to mean, is the royalty of the NBA over the years. They come back every single year. We miss Bill Russell terribly this year after passing away. Last year, he was always a fixture at All-Star games and at finals. But that's the brilliant part of coming here every mid-season or 3/4 of the season, is to see all the great past players as well.
The legends that are here. But look, you start right there, as you said, 1, 2, and 3
Yeah.
scoring in the history. of the National Basketball Association. And lucky I got over to talk to Bill Walton. Kareem was sitting next to Bill Walton before the game. Go over and talk to those two from the same school. Carl, I did not know Carl before the 92 Olympics, and then got a chance to spend more than a month together with he and John Stockton and their families, both great family guys. And I always did look forward to coming, not the game, but coming and seeing those two guys and their families when you played here.
Well, the only other time there was an NBA All-Star game here in Salt Lake City was 30 years ago, 1993. Stockton and Malone, as you pointed out earlier, were the co-MVPs. But you reminded me when you talked about the Dream Team, 9 of the 12 members of the Dream Team played in that All-Star game 30 years ago. 15 of the 24 who played in that All-Star game in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that was quite a time in the NBA.
Well, Christian was one who didn't. The other two might have been Birdie and Magic.
Yeah.
It might have been Birdie and Magic.
I'd have to go back.
The two that didn't, I'm guessing. Yep. And obviously Christian Laettner, no, because he was playing in college, I believe. What year was
1993, so 92-93 season here in Salt Lake City. Mark Kestis here, PJ Carlissimo with you. A little extended halftime here as they honor LeBron James. I think that honor was supposed to be scheduled for later in the second half, but maybe with James' evening coming to an end, a certain private jet's being fired up at the airfield not too far away. We'll see. LeBron right now has just hit the floor. He's got a camera crew following him. They got a minute 10 they just put on the clock to let the guys warm up. LeBron coming over to see some of Dwayne Wade's family. A little hug for Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade's wife, before he exits. 19 All-Star games, 20 seasons in the league. And let's hope that right hand is okay. It looks okay as we're looking here. And we heard Michael Malone say the hand's good, but his half is over. And the attendance tracker for you here at Vivint Arena. Tonight's attendance, 18,306, brought to you by Vivid Seats, where you earn rewards with every purchase. Vivid Seats Rewards is your ticket to more tickets. Vivid Seats, life happens live. PJ, while we have a moment, while they got about a minute to warm up, I guess we'll start some discussion with that Wild West. If you look at the 4-seed Clippers at 28 losses to the 13-seed Lakers at 32, it's a jumble. The Lakers would really have to put up a big number to get to the play-in, and the Lakers have the 6th easiest remaining schedule coming down the stretch.
Well, if they're healthy, and I say they, with no disrespect to their teammates, but if AD, and that's the concern, LeBron's going to be healthy. I mean, he's superhuman. But if AD's healthy and plays all of the majority of those games, they have a chance to win every night. There's no question about that. Those two, and myself, you, and John Medani would be all right. We'd win a decent amount. But that's really the key for them. But those teams that are in front of them, they're not going anywhere. Those teams have been, winning since the beginning, and everybody keeps saying, well, look, the gap's not that far. True, the gap's not that far, but to go past somebody, they've got to help you a little bit. They got to lose some games, and they're looking at it the same way. Those teams that are anywhere from 7, 13 is the Lakers. I mean, that's amazing. Trailblazers are a game and a half ahead of them at 12, as are the Jazz tied with them. They're looking at those same teams ahead of them in the standings saying, hey, we can get a little hot. We're going to be maybe in the play-in. Maybe we have an outside shot if we really get hot, if the schedule's really favorable. And that's the thing that a lot of people haven't looked at yet. But believe me, the teams have, the coaches have, and the players have. How many home games have they played? How many away do they have left? How many have they played in the West? How many East do they still have? It's all going to factor in, but I do think one of the biggest factors will be, as always, health. Who stays healthy?
Lakers will open the stretch to the end on Thursday against the Golden State Warriors. One of those teams in front of them, Golden State, sitting 9th in the West. Second half of this 72nd NBA All-Star game is underway. The tap controlled by Team LeBron. LeBron not playing the second half, hand injury. And, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo came in with a wrist injury, started the game, played a minute, committed a foul, and checked himself out. So it'll be Luka Doncic on the floor, finding Kyrie Irving on the left. Irving, a fake, drives, leaves it for Embiid for the easy stuff to open our third quarter scoring. Now, remember, we're going to give you quarter scores here as well, another $100,000 to both teams' charities. Raise the Future for Team Giannis, already $300,000 in the bank. LeBron's charity, Big Brothers Big Sisters Utah, has $200,000. A block by Team LeBron. Down on the other end, it's Kyrie Irving between the legs, bounce to Paul George for the jam.
PG actually had a block shot. I think he got Drew Holiday.
Here's Tatum blowing by Irving to the cup for the slam. And Tatum's got 19 points. Remember, we're tracking who could be the MVP of this All-Star game as well. And Tatum, one of their high scorers. Irving thought about a three. Those copper sneakers, drives inside, off the window, missed. Jokic taps once, no, taps it out to the perimeter. Luka's got it. Right angle three, right of the mark, no good. He's been a little off tonight. Here's Donovan Mitchell into the front court. He'll walk to the three-point line. He'll pop a three, and he'll knock it home. And he points to the Raise the Future kids out in the stands.
Well, you mentioned Jason Tatum. Donovan Mitchell also.
Yes.
Consideration for early on consideration for MVP.
He's got 17 points and 6 assists as Paul George just airballed one from the perimeter.
He likes playing in this building. There's no question about that. Donovan Mitchell
steps into a long three and knocks it down. Of course, this was his home building for his first 5 seasons. Now with the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell's got 22. Kyrie Irving explodes to the rim and lays it in. Team Giannis 8, Team LeBron 6. Mitchell, he wants the MVP, and he just got defended well by Embiid at the cup.
Guys, we're talking about Tatum, Irving, Mitchell, the leading scorers are stepping up.
Kyrie bounces it to the corner to Paul George, in and out, no good. Team Giannis with the rebound, coming from right to left as we watch it courtside. Tatum stops, three-point line, and buries the three. And another kiss to the crowd. He's got 22.
Three-point shooting, one of the reasons these players have been struggling a little bit is they haven't shot the ball in a couple of days. You take a couple of days off, even when you're as great as these guys, it takes a little while to get back in shape. But players in the three-point contest, you better believe they got some shots up prior to the three-point contest.
Paul George hit a layup, and now Jason Tatum, a logo deep three. 14-8, Team Giannis the lead. Tatum's up to 25.
Yep.
Here's Kyrie, left angle three, no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Donovan, a little hop step with a dribble into the front court, bounces it right side to Tatum. Things starting to pick up here. Tatum feeling it, buries another triple from the right. 28 for the Celtics, 4-time All-Star.
We've seen that a number of times this year. He goes by 40 like it's nothing.
Team Giannis has built a 9-point quarter lead. Embiid had it poked out of his hands, out of bounds by who else? The aggressive Tatum. It'll stay with Team LeBron. Jason, of course, came into the league young, but here's Kyrie Irving from the right corner. Three is in and out, and Jason Tatum rebounds. He's the youngest Celtic to his first 4 All-Star games. Donovan Mitchell cuts down the lane and lays it in. It's the Mitchell and Tatum show here in the third quarter.
Kyrie's trying to crash the party.
19-8, Team Giannis leads the third quarter score, and it's an 18-point lead overall in the game. Remember, the lead team add 24 to the target score for the fourth as Embiid drops it through the cylinder on a dunk for Team LeBron. Morant in the game, bounces it to Tatum.
Very nice pass.
Tatum retreats to the three-point line and hits another. He's on a heater right now. Jason Tatum with 31 points. Tatum's got 14 in the quarter, and Kyrie will slow him up with an answer three at the top.
23 for Kyrie.
Mitchell, logo three is good. He just lifted off from about 35 feet. Mitchell hits a trifecta.
27 for Donovan. So they've identified themselves, the players contesting for the MVP.
On Team Giannis, here's Irving splitting a double, and he's right down the lane for the bucket. Team Giannis 25, Team LeBron 15 in the quarter. Here's Mitchell just inside a half court, was short. It was on line, but just short from 40 feet away. Got a big smile on his face. Here's Embiid. He says, I want a shot at these threes. And he bags one for the 7-footer.
Get him and Nikola Jokic firing threes now.
25-18, Team Giannis, 7-point quarter lead. 7:10 to go in the third. Tatum red hot, left wing. Yep. He held the pose. Couple of kisses, a point to the broadcast crew. He's got 34 points. Kyrie from deep hits, and now all of a sudden everybody's hitting three-pointers.
Now those three, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, and JT.
Tatum from 40 missing, gets his own long rebound. Kyrie reaches in, trying to dislodge the ball, and commits the foul and ends our little three-point contest.
Are they in the bonus?
Not yet. That'll be a story.
For the game.
Yeah, for the game. All right, we got a little something going on here. Jason Tatum, 34 points, 17 in the quarter. Team Giannis leads the third quarter, 28-21, and they lead the All-Star game 127-113. You're listening to the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
I understand that it would be easy to say the 49ers picking up Derek Carr is an overreaction, but hear me out. When you were just sitting where you were in the playoffs playing with the fourth-string quarterback, and yet again, for yet another year, your chances at a Super Bowl are absolutely crushed because you don't have a quarterback, it's okay to overreact. How many years in a row can you get so close where your quarterback costs you opportunity before you finally just have to say, look, maybe Trey Lance is the guy, but come on, we got to do better, and we got to bring better to the quarterback position. This to me is so simple. If you're San Francisco, you don't have to treat things the way everybody else does. You are right in the middle of a moment, and that moment has to eventually end in a Super Bowl. And this guy, Derek Carr, would make you more likely to win that Super Bowl right now. Let's make something complicated simple. Go get you a quarterback.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
It's NBA on ABC time. Dynamic duos.
He's unstoppable. How did he do it? How did he do it?
And championship contenders.
Bang! Never doubt. This guy is unguardable right now.
It's a beautiful time for basketball. It's Saturday prime time. Celtics versus Sixers at 8:30 Eastern in a Sunday showcase doubleheader at 1 next Saturday and continues Sunday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Hey everyone, it's Adrian Wojnarowski, host of the Woj Pod, where you'll get interesting conversations with the NBA's top newsmakers.
When I started thinking front office, I went all in front office.
Including the game's bright stars of today.
Here with Celtics star Jason Tatum. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Behind-the-scenes stories from coaches and executives.
Things go well, it's like the union did great. When things go poorly, the president, now CJ's fault.
And breakdowns from analysts and insiders.
Doesn't seem Philly is in all that much of a rush.
Listen to the Woj Pod wherever you get your podcast. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Orchard with you inside our studios. Team Giannis starting to put the gas pedal down, led by Jason Tatum. He's got 34. Did some digging. 8 Boston Celtics have won the All-Star Game MVP. From McCauley, Kuzi twice, Bill Sherman, Bill Russell in 63, Dave Cowens in 73, Tiny Archibald in 81. The last Celtic to win the All-Star Game MVP, Larry Bird in 1982. Roscoe and Woody, that's a long, long time ago. Back to you.
I spoke with Jay before the Saturday the three-point contest, and he told me it would mean a lot to win the three-point contest. He wanted to be a part of Celtics lore. He said Larry Bird won it, Paul Pierce won it. I want to join them, and in those names that win the three-point contest, be on his way to winning MVP here in the All-Star game. Cassie, I'm going to throw it to you. I know my mic seems to be having a little bit of issues, but you got the point. Jason Tatum has been playing great. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I'll throw it to you.
I got you loud and clear. And, yeah, he wanted that three-point contest last night.
The matchup on the inbounds pass.
Oh, yeah, Jaylen Brown says, you know what, I got a mask. Doesn't matter. I got to slow you down now.
Jaylen Brown guarding Jason Tatum, about to inbound the ball. Michael Smith, the excellent official, 30 years in the NBA. Michael Smith is administering the inbound play.
Jason Tatum is 5 for 6 from three-point range in this third quarter. 17 of his 34 points. Can his teammate, Jaylen Brown, slow him down? Inbound comes in. Team Giannis to Donovan Mitchell. Finds Lillard off the curl. Lillard hits it. A great screen from Bam Adebayo and a triple for Dame Lillard.
I'm smiling at Kyrie. Kyrie tripped over him, knocked Bam down. Dame wide open. He's got no problem converting that.
That's got to be the hardest hit we've had on defense here tonight. Team LeBron trailing by 10 in the quarter. Embiid with it on top. Now accelerates against Tatum, who lets him go, and Joel flips it up and in.
It tells me Joel doesn't go to the basket that easily when the Sixers and Celtics hook up.
Here's Mitchell, another three, pulls up into the front court. He and Tatum both red hot here in this
third
third
going
quarter.
after it, and don't forget Kyrie. He's got 28 and counting.
Jaylen Brown rises, misses the three. DeRozan rebounds for Team Giannis. Up 11 in the quarter. Mitchell picks it up, shoots another three, misses it. Is not in rhythm that time. Rebounded by Team LeBron. Comes Kyrie Irving between the legs behind him to Embiid. The big man for three, splashes one home. 5:45 to go in the quarter. Team LeBron trying to chip away at the quarter score.
Not your average big man.
Damian Lillard leading the offensive attack, goes to DeRozan on the left. This time he'll try a three-pointer up the sidestep, missed it. Rebounded by Jaylen Brown. Up ahead, long court pass to Jokic. He was looking to drop the dime, instead took it himself for the lay-in.
I won't say wide receiver. Look more like a tight end going down for that pass.
Jason Tatum being defended by Embiid. Steps back into the corner. Off balance. Three is good. 37 for Jason Tatum, who's got 20 in the period.
That was a contested three. Joel Embiid got up, and Jason Tatum had to lean back to even get the shot off.
Jokic going to try a three. Ooh, misses badly. Banks off the backboard, and who's got it? Jason Tatum. Embiid wants him. Tatum sidesteps. Is this another one? Three-pointer is a miss. Rebounded by Jaylen Brown.
The masked man.
Brings it into the front court. Bounces it ahead to Kyrie. Sends it over right side to Embiid. Perimeter three is good. How about Joel Embiid? Knocking home a triple.
30.
Wow.
30 for Joel.
13 of 17. 4 triples for Embiid playing through foot pain. Lillard, deep three. Yes.
You're going to make that MVP voting. Four players right now. Embiid and Irving for Team LeBron. Tatum and Mitchell for Team Giannis.
Anthony Edwards, a two-hand flush. 4:15 to go in the third. Quarter score, Team Giannis 40, Team LeBron 33. Dame Lillard, all net from half court. Wow.
At least make it look like it's an effort to make it from half court.
Irving says, let me try one of those. Just inside a half missed.
Dame's going to fire another one.
There he is. Dame, half court rises on its way. No, missed it. Long rebound. Mitchell chased it down. Gets it to Tatum. Into the lane. Layups good. 39 for Jason Tatum. And Michael Malone wants a timeout for Team LeBron.
They're down 12 this quarter, 45-33. And even with the elim ending, you got to be within striking range. 24 points. Not going to take who's ever leading long to get 24 points.
Jason Tatum has 20 points in this third quarter. He's sitting on 37. Team Giannis has 45 posted in the quarter and still 3:47 to play in the third. Team Giannis leads the quarter, 45-30.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Hey, Coach, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know we're going with Geico for next week's game.
Geico? That's our starting point guard.
Geico really delivers in the clutch, with over 85 years of great claim service right when customers need it most.
Coach, Geico isn't a basketball player. It's an insurance company.
Yeah, I just feel like Geico gives us our best chance to win.
Are you serious right now?
Thanks, champ. Knew you'd understand.
For the choice you can always rely on, go to geico.com.
This is it. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's time to get Shopify.
You go and get it.
Oh, oops. I thought I was just talking to myself there. But heck yeah, I do. It's time to take my business to the next level. Start selling with Shopify to join the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. From templates that make site design simple to customizations that let you grow at your pace. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. That's shopify.com/play. Go to shopify.com/play to take your business to the next level today.
What if I told you in Iran, women are banned from going to soccer games?
Mom, take the ball. I love you.
For 43 years, Iranian women have fought back. Police pushed us.
Troops.
This is their story.
The joy was forbidden.
What is the meaning of that?
That is how they control you.
I'm Shimol Yai. Listen to the new 30 for 30 podcast, Pink Card. Available now.
Kevin Richard with you inside our studios. Welcome to the Jason Tatum Show with Donovan Mitchell riding shotgun. Those two are combined for 69 points tonight. Tatum's got 39. He already has the most points ever in an All-Star game by a Boston Celtic player, and that's a pretty good franchise. And Chesty, PJ, Raj, Monica, there have been 7 instances where a player has scored 40 or more. Anthony Davis has the record back in 2017 when he dropped 52. McNutt, back to you.
Thanks, Winter. All right, so listen, guys, All-Star weekends are not just a place where fans get to dream and see all of their favorite players on one court. Julius Randle actually had a little bit of a wish come true this weekend. He was asked prior to the All-Star break about heading out to Utah, and he said, I hope I get a chance to play with LeBron James before he retires, and joked about LeBron's age. But he also mentioned that he and Paul George are good friends, and so he would be kind of excited to play with him as well. And so check both of those boxes, Kesty, because Julius Randle was indeed drafted by one LeBron James.
He was indeed, and I think LeBron would have liked to have Jason Tatum on his team. Tatum's on Team Giannis, and he just broke a record that was set last year. Steph Curry had a chance to break that Anthony Davis record of 52. Remember, LeBron had the last shot.
Exactly.
Curry ended up with 50, but Curry scored 21 points in a quarter last year. Jason just broke that. He's got 22.
And counting. He still have 3:46 to go. Is he still out there?
He is. He's still on the floor.
Kyrie changing his sneaks on the bench.
Jason Tatum has 6 3-pointers in this third quarter. His teammate, Jaylen Brown, masked man tonight, dribbles to the high post, into the lane, sweeping little right hook goes down for Jaylen Brown. Seeing LeBron down 10 in the quarter, $100,000 for charity at stake in the quarter score. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander adds to Team Giannis as he drives down for the basket.
I think LeBron responded to the timeout.
Here's Jaren Jackson Jr. with the slam on a beautiful long bounce pass from De'Aaron Fox.
But unfortunately, Team Giannis is continuing.
Well, they scored 53 in the second quarter. They're up to 47. Lillard rises from the logo, misses that one, and rebounded by Brown.
Front rim, back rim, and out.
Brown thought about a logo. He'll take it, and he'll miss it. Rebounded by Tatum. Jason Tatum, 22 third-quarter points into the front court. Stops at the left wing, and Jaylen Brown wants him. Says, I want you. Clapping his hands defensively. Here's Tatum's three. No good. Tapped out, and Team Giannis has it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander feeds Tatum for the bucket. He's up to 41 points.
And the record continues to grow.
And he grows ever closer to the all-time record that Kevin Winter just mentioned. Here's Julius Randle rising from three and hitting from on top for Team LeBron.
Well, Kevin only looks in the Celtic record book.
This GA driving down, and the Oklahoma City Thunder gets deep, rises, and flushes easily. 51-40 quarter score for Team Giannis. Anthony Edwards, 21-year-old, just pumped the three in from the outside. Young rising star from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's Tatum for three. No, rims out. Rebounded by Team LeBron, down 8 in the quarter. Jaren Jackson, long three. Ooh, that was a brick, but fortunate. Comes all the way out to Edwards on the right. He'll take a three, miss it. Weak side rebound, near put back Jaylen Brown, but he missed it and grabbed his own miss and put it in. I think we'll have a little delay game warning here. Look at Giannis hop off the bench. Come on, ref. Call the delay game warning.
Michael Smith thinking of giving him a T.
Oh, we got a blue light special here. Are they changing a score? That's usually what the blue light refers to, right?
Correct.
Now they will announce it to the crowd. It's a new ruling this year.
Dennis will.
They're reviewing Edwards if that's a 2 or a 3. He was right on the line. I haven't seen a replay yet.
2.
All right. So we'll change the score. Team Giannis 51. Team LeBron 44. They lost a point there. Here's Damian Lillard driving for Team Giannis for the lay-in with 90 seconds to go in the third. 9-point quarter lead. De'Aaron Fox goes easily through. Oh, he missed the layup. I mean, listen, missed the jam.
He's the only player who hasn't scored in the game, De'Aaron Fox.
Still scoreless. Lillard from the break hits another 3. Damian Lillard at one point missed 8 straight field goals. He's up to 23 points.
He's 8 for 17.
Wow. He made his first, missed 7, right? He was
So
1 for 8.
So he's 7 for 9 since then.
All right. Damian Lillard back to his old stroking self.
He's got 23. His teammates, Jason Tatum's got 41. Donovan Mitchell has 30.
Minute to go here in the third quarter. Team Giannis with a 12-point quarter lead. We'll set the target score when this quarter ends. Here's Brown, step back against his teammate, and he hits, beating Jason Tatum.
1-on-1 in the Celtic practice facility out the Mass Pike.
He just put his hand to the ground to say, Tatum, you're too small. You can't guard me.
Look.
Here we go. Tatum against Brown. The Celtics going head-to-head. Oh, he tried to cross him over, and it went off his foot and out of bounds. And he looks over to D-Wade.
I'm looking across, and Will Hardy's got a smile on his face, who was the assistant coach with the Celtics last year. Of course, now the excellent young coach for the Utah Jazz.
Team LeBron down 10 in the quarter. 36 seconds to go. Brown against Tatum. Step back 3. Yes! Oh, again puts the hand down to say you're too small, my friend. All right, Tatum wants to make a run at him. Tatum with an outstanding third quarter against his teammates. Step back 3 on its way. It's good! Jason Tatum, 44 points, crushing it in the third quarter.
How is Boston good offensively? Who do they have that can score?
We're watching it here in the third. 12 seconds to go. Team Giannis, by the way, has 59 third quarter points, 158 for the game. Last shot of the third. Brown against Tatum. Behind the back dribble. Can't get by him. Turns. Half a second to go. He's not going to get off a shot. And Tatum says, look, I got some defense as well. That's a fun ending to the third quarter.
How about those two? That was more defense in the one-on-one between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Tatum sets the record, 27 points in the third quarter. He's got 44 for the game, and Team Giannis puts up 59 points. They win the third quarter, another $100,000 for Raise the Future. They have $400,000 in the bank, 158 to 141. Team Giannis leads. LeBron will add 24 to the total for Team Giannis. We will have a target score of 182 for the win. The fourth quarter is coming up next. This is the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Monday on Fitz and Harry, the latest on Derek Carr as he looks to reach new heights with his new team.
Plus, why the Chicago Bears would be the absolute wrong spot for Bryce Young.
Fitz and Harry, Monday, noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Coming up Monday, XFL owners Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia join us to recap the XFL's opening weekend. Keyshawn, J. Will, and X, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hey everyone, it's Adrian Wojnarowski, host of the Woj Pod, where you'll get interesting conversations with the NBA's top newsmakers.
When I started thinking front office, I went all in front office.
Including the game's bright stars of today.
Here with Celtic star Jason Tatum. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Behind the scenes stories from coaches and executives.
Things go well. It's like the union did great. When things go poorly, the president and LCJ's fault.
And breakdowns from analysts and insiders.
Doesn't seem Philly is in all that much of a rush.
Listen to the Woj Pod wherever you get your podcast. The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Adam Pac-Man Jones.
You asked Harry and asked his dad who's the best athlete that he ever coached. And I'm not tooting my horn. I was 5'9", blazing fast, and I could do everything.
Deion Branch joins us, Super Bowl MVP.
I think the NFL was going to miss Tom. We'll be pretty satisfied with what's behind it.
Joined now by Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells.
I'm not trying to embarrass this guy because he's sitting there, but one thing I loved about Keyshawn, he would do every dirty job you asked him to do. He he would do things that other receivers wouldn't do.
Sauce Gardner, Jets corner. Is there anybody you'll be actively recruiting this offseason to try and get him to come play with you?
I don't know, man. Y'all just got to stay tuned. I don't really know.
Ooh, look at Sauce trying to give us a little sauce, but not all of it. Okay, Sauce.
How that works.
The biggest names in sports come here, and it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, and continues all day. This is ESPN Radio.
Kevin Winter with you inside our studios. Welcome to the Jason Tatum Corner.
Durant in the game. Bounces
Pass,
it to Tatum.
Very nice pass.
Tatum retreats to the three-point line and hits another. He's on a heater right now. Jason Tatum with 31 points. Tatum being defended by Embiid. Steps back into the corner. Off balance. Three is good. 37 for Jason Tatum, who's got 20 in the period.
That was a contested three.
He had 27 in the quarter. That's a new record. He has 44 for the game. He's closing in on the scoring record. And Team Giannis with a 158-141 lead. We will set our Elam ending total at 182. Let's go to 1-8 before we join the crew. Back to you.
Man, that was a lot of fun watching Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown go at it one-on-one there. And I spoke with Jaylen Brown before the game about their relationship, and he said, you know, it feels like our destiny is intertwined. We came up together. It would be great to win a championship together, and that's our goal. We've talked about it, and they have a lot of love, respect, and he said camaraderie and confidence that has built together. Guys, I'm going to send that back to you.
Roz, thank you very much. And Jason Tatum's going to start this fourth quarter on the floor, so we know his coach is over on Team Giannis.
The masked man is also on the floor.
Jaylen Brown's out there, too. Joe Mazzulla, of course, the Celtics head coach, is the Team Giannis coach, and Jason Tatum is 8 points away from some history, at least tying 9 from
I guarantee you, Joe Mazzulla, even though he's proud of the way his guys are playing and going at each other, he's a little concerned. He'd feel a little better if they were sitting on the bench next to him.
And Jaylen Brown was dribbling up floor with the mask kind of over his head. Now he adjusts it, gives it up to Kyrie Irving. So they Team LeBron needs 41 points to win the game, 24 for Giannis. We're untimed here in the fourth quarter as Brown misses a three. Lowry Markkanen from the Jazz, a straight-on three is a miss, rebounded by Kyrie Irving. Team LeBron needs a lot of points. Julius Randle down floor, misses a three, rebounded by Sabonis.
Look out.
Up ahead, Tatum, dribbling on the arc, gives it up to Mitchell. His three, rolls off, no good, Embiid the rebound. This might be the closest contested we'll have in the game tonight here in the fourth. Pass out on top, Irving. No look to the left side, Embiid. Splits a double, got deep, and throws it home. And has a word for a few guys on Team Giannis's bench. Mitchell trying to get around Irving, lays it up and in through contact.
Donovan Mitchell was, in my opinion, leading the MVP voting until Jason Tatum exploded in the third quarter.
He obliterated things in the third as Tyrese Halliburton scores for Team LeBron, 160-145. Team Giannis, they need to get 182. Siakam with it to Mitchell on the right. Donovan lifts for three and hits. 35 points for the former Jazz, Donovan Mitchell.
19 to get to the target score.
Irving will send it over to Halliburton. His three is in and out. Rebounded by Embiid. Out to Halliburton. Another three trying. He hits.
Joel Embiid looks like he's motivated here. Going after some rebounds and some block shots.
Sabonis throws to the rim where Tatum grabs and flushes. 46 points for Jason Tatum.
Domantas Sabonis is a very good passer. Not quite as good as his father.
And his dad was the Hall of Famer, Arvydas Sabonis, as Julius Randle is fouled by Mitchell. Another thing, right from the jump, Team Giannis, who was a captain twice previously, lost both. I mean, he took Damian Lillard with the first pick, and he's like, I'm in it to win it. And he relishes a chance to win here. And as you pointed out, they're only 17 points away. Irving off the inbound to Halliburton, wide open, thinks about it, shoots and drops the right wing triple.
I'll tell you what, I didn't realize Tyrese Halliburton had such a pure stroke. It's a funny looking shot. It is. As that baby bends the wrist and then just burns it.
Jason Tatum hits another three-pointer. What a second half for Tatum, up to 49 points, 3 away from tying Anthony Davis's all-time All-Star game record. 168-151, Team Giannis. Halliburton gives it to the cutting Randall, who flushes with two hands.
Look, there's Embiid again, knocked the ball loose.
Steal, and now Jaylen Brown has it. Doesn't have numbers. Flips it back to Embiid. Shovels to Halliburton. Checks his feet. Corner three. Yes! Halliburton with a triple. Team LeBron trying to make the comeback. Down 168-156. Mitchell on the drive. Fouled by Embiid. Remember, we're untimed here. The first team to 182 will win the 72nd All-Star game. And Team Giannis is 14 points away.
Look who's coming in.
Dame Lillard.
Tyrese Halliburton shoots .399. I think we can round that up. He's a 40% three-point shooter, and he shot it better than that this week.
For the record, a three-pointer good. Tying the record, Jason Tatum. He's got 52 points.
He knows he needs one more.
Here's Kyrie Irving driving. Layup is good. Team Giannis is only 11 points away. Tatum 1 point away from the record.
Does Joe get him when he breaks the record, or does he leave him in?
Here's Tatum passing it off this time to Siakam. Drives under the basket outside to Mitchell. Donovan's three is good. Team Giannis up to 174 points. They're 8 away.
How about Tatum and Mitchell between them have 90 points? 90.
Team Giannis looking for its first ever win at the All-Star game as Halliburton sends it over to Embiid, floats to the corner. One-legged three, no good. Mitchell has it, looking down floor. Gives it to Tatum for the All-Star game scoring record. A three, it's a miss. Long rebound, Kyrie Irving saves it in the corner.
Got a pained expression. Jason's disappointed in himself. He wanted that.
Here's Irving for three. Missed it. Rebound. Jaylen Brown flies in an offensive board. Fades to the corner. Lifts for three. It's a miss. Irving, unblocked out, is able to grab the rebound and put it in. 174-160. Team Giannis leads. Damian Lillard finds the cutting market and goes strong and tomahawks it down. They are 6 points away. Jason Tatum's like, there's no clock here. I need a point before this ends.
And some of his teammates do not realize what's going on.
Tatum nearly got the steal. He did get it. Mitchell saves it. Tatum, for the record, goes for the layup. He missed the bunny. Tapped out to Siakam and now poked away by Randall. Flips it up ahead to Jaylen Brown, and he throws it down hard with one hand. 176-162.
6 to the target for Team Giannis.
Mitchell, a floater down floor. Tatum's there, and he'll have to earn it at the free throw line. Fouled right at the cup. Jason Tatum with a free throw can set the record.
Yeah, Team LeBron was not going to give it to him. Going to make him earn it.
Joel Embiid contested at the rim, committed the foul. Jason Tatum had 17 points in the first half. He exploded for 27, a record for any quarter in an All-Star game. And now a free throw away from a record, and he shorts it. Missed it first. One more free throw to come. Bam Adebayo first coming in for Team Giannis, which is 6 points away from victory here in Salt Lake City. Siakam out.
It's one of our two contestants from Cameroon.
Joel Embiid the other.
Yep. Pascal Siakam.
Here's Tatum's free throw. He's got it. And it's an all-star game record. 53 points for Jason Tatum. And Team Giannis is 5 points away from an all-star victory. There's Jaylen Brown, reverse dunk off the feet from Kyrie.
Jaylen Brown is enjoying playing. He's not like not being able to play.
Donovan Mitchell into the front court. Pulls a long three. No good. Rebound to Brown. Team LeBron needs some points in a hurry. Randall has it, drives, flushes. They're up to 166, so they're 16 away.
They're 16 away. Team Giannis, 5 away. And Dame, I think, is about to launch.
No LeBron James in the second half. Hand injury. Damian Lillard misses wide left on the long three. Can Team LeBron make the comeback? Kyrie feeds Brown down the lane. Layup's good. They're up to 168. 177 for Team Giannis. 5 points away. Tatum gives it up to Mitchell. Mitchell drives, fakes the pass, and floats it up and in. 3 points away for Team Giannis. 179-168 lead. Down floor to Kyrie Irving. Feeds Halliburton at the top. Tyrese gives it up to Kyrie. Shot clock at 13. Backs up beyond the three. Over to Jaylen Brown, missing a three. And now a three-pointer can win it for Team Giannis. Donovan Mitchell from half court lets it fly, missed it, air ball, and it goes out of bounds across the baseline.
3 points. Team Giannis gets to the target score. 14 points needed from Team LeBron.
They need a heck of a run right now to keep it going as Jaylen Brown gets by Donovan Mitchell at half court, drives down the lane, lays it up and in.
Pushes his teammate away from him. Shot it with his left hand and pushed Jason Tatum backwards with his right.
Tatum inside the arc, drives down the lane, lays it in, extends his record to 55 points, and Team Giannis is 1 point away. 181 to 170, the lead for Team Giannis.
It's okay if I fill out my MVP ballot?
It's an easy one tonight, isn't it? You put the right name down. Here's Kyrie Irving floating across the free throw line, missed it, and now Team Giannis a chance to win it here. Damian Lillard, it's game time. He did this a couple years ago, half-court miss. He made it in Atlanta a couple years ago, and now here's a steal by Lillard at half court. Lets it fly again. Ooh. Missed that one. It was on target, just short. And it caroms out of bounds to Team LeBron. 181-170, Team Giannis leading.
I'm sure everybody saw it on the board because they have the TNT graphics, but I'm surprised they didn't make an announcement.
Oh, for the 55?
Yep.
Here's Embiid's three, missing it. Rebounded by Markkanen, and Team Giannis again with a chance to win it. Donovan Mitchell inside half court three on its way, no good. We only need 1 point.
The only way
for drama.
Team LeBron can win it is these guys keep shooting 40-foot threes.
Windmill dunk on one end. Tatum looking to end it here. Oh, he stepped on the sideline. Out of bounds. Team LeBron trailing 181 to 172.
Look at the three auxiliary officials who assisted Mark Lindsay with the call. Luka, LeBron, and Nikola Jokic all pointing to the floor. He stepped out.
Sounds like a good law firm.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Brown on top against his former team, or against his current teammate, Jason Tatum. Brown over Tatum. Rainbow three goes down. 181-175. Team Giannis, another chance to end it. Tatum has it on top of the arc with an NBA All-Star Game record, 55 points. He'll pass it off to Markkanen. Yeah, the Jazz fans want him to get the winner. Corner three, circles out, no good. Tipped and an offensive rebound to Lillard. Dame time from the hash. Hits it. Damian Lillard, the game-winning three. Team Giannis with the win.
He's pointing to his Dame time, pointing to the wristwatch, the imaginary wristwatch. I thought Lauri Markkanen was going to get it. Remember, Walker Kessler got the finish, the other Jazz player on Friday night.
184-175. Team Giannis, for the first time in 3 times as an all-star captain, has a victory, beating Team LeBron 184-175 on a record night. Jason Tatum with 55 points in the
Kevin Winter would be upset with me if I didn't take note of the fact that the Celtic tandem combined for 90, count them, 90 points. 55 for Jason Tatum, 35 for Jaylen Brown.
38 second-half points for Jason Tatum, who had a 38-point game into the All-Star break. We told you the youngest Celtic ever to 4 All-Star games. He can become the first Celtic ever to average 30 points in a season as they'll resume their chase as the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. He's averaging over 30 points per game. But tonight, it's a record for Jason Tatum, 55 points, and a win for Team Giannis, 184-175 over Team LeBron. LeBron stayed till the end. He's coming over right now, right in front of us. One last handshake and hug for Dwayne Wade. LeBron played the first half. He contested a ball at the rim and didn't play the second half with his hand as we send it across the court to Monica McNutt.
Thanks, Cassie. All right, Donovan. In any other game, a 40-piece would be probably the top performer. But your teammate tonight, Jason Tatum, put up 55. What was that like?
Man, it was fun. We were going back and forth. You know, we both talked about going to get it. He got hot. You know, that's great to see. Greatness, you know, especially both of us. We've known each other since high school. So to come up and be on this stage, doing what we're doing, man, it's special.
Just for clarification, I'm with Donovan Mitchell, who had 40 points tonight. All right, you're back in a city that you spent a lot of time. Utah showed mad love. I'm not even going to hold you. What did you think of this weekend?
It was a lot of fun. It was good to be back. Glad to see, you know, some familiar faces. Life comes at you full circle to come back as a starter. And I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful we had a great weekend and get to be on some fantastic players. It was a lot of fun.
Now you'll take a few days and rest, I'm sure, as you get ready for the final push of the regular season. What's the primary focus for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I make that push. Keep laying the foundation. That way when we get to the playoffs, we're ready to go. And I'm excited.
Thanks, Adam.
I appreciate it.
Back to you, Cassie.
All right, Monica, thanks a lot. In Cleveland, they're one of the beneficiaries of Brooklyn breaking it down even though the Nets have, have been a spunky team ever since the Kevin Durant and the Kyrie trades. But Cleveland moved into fourth place, had a 7-game win streak end right before the All-Star break, very much in contention for home court in the first round as we come down to the final. They got, I think, 23 games before they finish out the regular season.
I mean, 15 over is really impressive, and you said they're up to fourth, which is really good. They're only 2 games out of third and 4.5 games out of second. I mean, that's how tight. We talk about the West and what a bloodbath it is. The East, not much to divide the different teams in the East either.
By the way, Donovan Mitchell is the first player ever with 40 points and 10 assists in an All-Star game. And it's not going to get him the MVP tonight.
No, that's a pretty healthy double-double right there. Again, talked about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum combining for 90 points. How about Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell combining for 95? Pretty good tandem.
Very, very impressive. Giannis Antetokounmpo played the first minute of the game. Got the start, picked his team, was dealing with the wrist injury. Let's hope that doesn't linger into the second half of the season. You and I will be in Milwaukee a week from today, next Sunday, against the Phoenix Suns. We don't know about Kevin Durant. Seems like it might be a little too soon to come back from the knee, but we'll see. But hopefully Giannis also, by resting this last week, will be available.
Yeah, hopefully he's healthy. And I'll tell you, talk about getting healthy. 3-point shooting was so abysmal at halftime. How about Team Giannis had 9 at the half, primarily because of Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell. They end up with 29 for the game, 20 in the second half, 18 of them by Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum.
As Team Giannis beats Team LeBron 184-175 in the final in Utah. As we continue our post-game festivities, first, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Did you see my two-man?
Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Roz Golden-Woody, Monica McNutt with you from Salt Lake City. We'll still have an interview with the most valuable player. I think we know who it is. Final score, Team Giannis 184, Team LeBron 175 more from Salt Lake City in a moment. You're listening to the 2023 NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
I was going to make an NFT joke, but Jay gets a little sensitive when I make NFT jokes
I just think your jokes don't hit anymore. Your jokes used to
You
hit.
got out of the market in time. You should be happy. You got in and out. You made some money. Be happy.
I'm still in the blockchain market.
Well, you're out of the NFT game already, Jay? You didn't even let it mature.
Stop using words you know what they mean.
GJ and Max, mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
In the 90s, the SEC was scary good. Final Fours, national titles, and a whole lot of exhausted opponents. But glory doesn't come without sweat, toughness, and a chip on your shoulder that turns 40 minutes of hell into a lifetime of memories. ESPN Films presents Southern Hoops, a history of SEC basketball. Part 5, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network, presented by Pfizer-BioNTech.
Mike Greenberg, Greeny,
Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. I've seen what those guys have turned into when you put the right coaching and right pieces around them. Why couldn't Justin Fields be that? He is more developed at this point than Jalen Hurts was at the same point in his career. I don't see why Justin Fields might not be that if Chicago puts some of the right pieces around him.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania arrives in a game-changing must-see.
Ready?
Ready. Critics are calling it truly exhilarating.
You're not the one with the hammer. That's Thor. We get confused a lot. Similar body types.
It's jaw-dropping and unexpected.
He's a monster who thinks he's a god.
I am Kang! Experience the next chapter of the Marvel Universe. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters everywhere now.
This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Welcome back to Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Roz Goldenwoody, Monica McNutt with you, Kevin Winter in the studio. We are awaiting a most valuable player, although I think we have a good sense of who it is. Jason Tatum, 55 points, setting a new NBA All-Star standard. Only the third player to score 50 or more, and it happens for the second straight year. Curry had 50 last year. Anthony Davis' record of 52 set in what was then his hometown of New Orleans, had 52 in 2017, and it is official now. The Kobe Bryant Trophy is handed to Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics.
Dusty, how about if you're Kyrie Irving and you get 32 points and 15 assists? You're Jaylen Brown, you get 35 points and 14 rebounds, and you're Donovan Mitchell and get 40 points and 10 assists, and you're not even anywhere.
A footnote in history.
Yeah, you weren't close. Double-double for Jason Tatum, 55, 10 boards, 6 assists, a block, and a steal. Not bad.
Impressive. And those records we were talking about, you're with us. He had 27 third-quarter points. That was a record, most points in a quarter.
That was his record. That he
That's right.
Went from 22 to 23 to 27,
and then,
all in the third.
And then 38 second-half points is the most points in any half in an All-Star game. And, of course, 55 is now the benchmark to go in NBA All-Star history. He's being interviewed at center court right now by Ernie Johnson on TNT. And as soon as they're done, we will have an interview with Jason Tatum coming up as well. We mentioned Team LeBron, who had won 5 straight when they went to this format. This is only the 6th year of the format. First time they've lost. The 5 straight wins by any side had tied the Eastern Conference, won 5 straight in the early 80s. So it won't be 5 in a row, and LeBron only played the first half. Sounded like precautionary reasons coming out with his hand.
For sure, but I still think they'll be addressing him down in that locker room. LeBron's not going to be happy with this loss by any stretch. He'll let his team know that.
Winning is the only standard at the All-Star game for Team LeBron and Team Giannis. Giannis took this seriously. He walked out about 4 hours ago onto the stage with a notebook. He knew exactly who he wanted to take. And as he said, I want to win. And he got the win.
And he wanted John Morant so badly.
He picked him twice. Once he wasn't allowed to. But one of the big selections, I really thought that LeBron James would end up with Jason Tatum on his squad. He ended up on Team Giannis, and obviously that turned out to be the biggest difference in the game as Tatum goes for 55, Mitchell goes for 40, and Damian Lillard somehow went through a stretch where he missed 7 straight buckets but ended up with 26. Those were the 3 high scores for Team Giannis. Finally with a win, 184 to 175, the final over Team LeBron. It was great to watch Jason Tatum go at it tonight with a record 55 points, standing by with Roz.
Jason, yesterday you told me you wanted to win the 3-point contest. And how do you like an MVP of the All-Star game instead?
Yeah, I was a little bummed out last night. I didn't win, but, I'm leaving with something, so I take it.
You're leaving with the big one.
Yeah.
Actually, not only this, you're leaving with a record. You broke this all-time scoring record in the All-Star game. How did you approach scoring throughout the game, quarter by quarter?
I got the JT ones on. I got the debut my own signature shoe. So I wanted to come out here with a little more motivation. And I just got hot in the third quarter, and they kept feeding me, and I kept knocking down shots.
There was a moment there where you and Jaylen Brown were going back and forth. How was that fun little moment between you and your teammate there?
That was really fun. Obviously, we've been on the same team, and we compete against each other all the time, one-on-one at practice. But I guess for the world to see it was pretty cool.
Okay, looking to the second part of the season, the Celtics right now stand at the top of the standings. What do you have to do as a team to get back to the finals? And I know the goal is to win the championship.
Stay healthy, get in a good rhythm, and just know that this is the final stretch. This is go time, and we know what it takes to get there. We got to get it done.
All right, thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
Roz, thank you very much. Jason Tatum is still only 24 years of age, 4-time All-Star, now an All-Star MVP, and holds the record at 55 points. Look back at that historic third quarter.
Well, he said he got a little hot.
Got a little hot?
He got a little hot in the third.
That's not white hot? What did he do? What's his line there?
10 for 14 from the field, 7 for 11. That sounds good from the 3-point line. 5 boards, an assist, a block shot, and, oh, by the way, 27 points.
27 as he ended up going for 38 in that second half. Team Giannis gets the win. Boston, by the way, just a skinny half game ahead of Milwaukee in the top of the Eastern Conference standings. The Bucks have won 12 straight. We will have Milwaukee's second game out of the break. They open their second half on ESPN television Friday night with Minnesota at Milwaukee, and then you and I will be in Milwaukee for the Suns and Bucks, and we'll be watching to see Giannis and the wrist that he sprained at the end of the first half.
Updates on KD and Giannis, and obviously both of them, the sooner they're back, the better for those two teams. I should mention Joel Embiid, too. I didn't include him because he didn't have a double-double, but, oh, by the way, he had 32 and 7.
And he played 27 minutes.
Yeah. But look at it. The scoring on that side, a pair of 32s, Kyrie Irving and Joel Embiid. Jaylen Brown showed the way with 35. Tyrese Halliburton got on fire, 4 for 6 from 3, and he got 18. That was an impressive weekend for Tyrese Halliburton.
It was a little bit of a coming-out party for him, the Indiana Pacers second-year man. I mentioned Embiid playing 27 minutes because he's got the sore foot as they head into the second half. And then we will, of course, wait for the postgame and hear what they talk about in the locker room on LeBron James, who contested at the rim, may have hit the rim, may have hurt his hand a little bit.
I don't know
came out
it
precautionary.
looked like one of those, and then I'm obviously speculating it was the basket away from us, like where he reached up and the rim may have gone between his fingers. We'll see. He was out there helping the officials make calls, encouraging his team.
Got to have LeBron James with the Lakers sitting 13th in the West. They are 3 games in the loss column out of the 10 seed, and the Lakers will open up their second half on Friday against Golden State. So that'll do it for our All-Star Game coverage. Reminder, ESPN Radio's got you covered with Saturday night, Celtics and Sixers from Philadelphia, 8 Eastern time. Mike Cousins, Monica McNutt will have that call. PJ and I will be in Milwaukee Sunday afternoon for the Suns and the Bucks beginning at 12:30 Eastern time. Team Giannis earns $450,000 for Raise the Future, their charity here tonight. And Team Giannis gets its first ever win, beating Team LeBron. Final score, 184-175. Jason Tatum with a record 55 points tonight.
Heck of a weekend.
It was a lot of fun,
really
man.
Good weekend.
3 straight days, had a good time. And thanks to our entire crew, for PJ Carlissimo, Monica McNutt, Roz Gold on Woody, our producer, John Medani, our program director, Peter Ciccone, all weekend long, and the guys who made us sound great tonight, Al Rosenberg, Dave Sniff, our engineers. I'm Mark Kestisher. That'll do it from Salt Lake City as we turn it over to Kevin Winter in the studio, and here is the post-game show.
Kesty, PJ, Roz, Monica, it has been an absolute pleasure to work with you guys this weekend, and what a weekend it has been here in Salt Lake City. Team Giannis, 184. Team LeBron, 175. The NBA on ESPN Radio has been presented by Indeed. Looking for quality candidates this new year? Look no further than Indeed. Their new video interview tool takes the hassle out of virtual hiring. Visit Indeed.com/credit. The postgame show's next. This is the 72nd NBA All-Star Game on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
The basketball and hockey seasons are heating up. Baseball is just around the corner, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Not only does Vivid Seats have great ticket prices, they're also the official ticketing partner of ESPN. And with Vivid Seats rewards, when you buy 10 tickets, you get the 11th free. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live. Receive a reward credit equal to the average price of the 10 tickets purchased, excluding taxes, fees, and processing costs. See vividseats.com/rewards for terms and conditions.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is